Hello, everybody, and welcome back to FemmeTarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium and energy reader and healer. And today, guess who's joining us? I'm super excited. It's been a minute, but today he's joining us because this is going to be a supersized mega live because we have so many topics to talk about, to read on, and it's going to be a deep dive. So everybody go grab your beverages, go grab your snacks, get yourself comfortable, switch off your phones. I don't know what you're going to do, but this is going to be a very, very interesting live. We, Kempire and I, having since yesterday, we've been prepping for this show, the topics, what we're going to talk about, and basically anything goes, you guys. We don't know. Kempire, as you know, always brings in amazing questions. He likes to dig, and that's why I love doing these readings with him, aside from the fact that he's my friend and I love him, but that's beside the point. It's the fact that he really knows how to ask the right questions, the cards and spirit, the right questions to get to the point and to get to the answers that maybe we all need to hear. So you guys brace yourselves. This is going to be a long one.
Wait, do you know who also likes to dig? Power Top Tyler Perry. Okay, we're trying to make a serious situation lighthearted, guys. We definitely understand the serious nature of some of the topics that we will be talking about, but I couldn't help myself. I know, even on this Sunday.
Of course, of course. And before we start, I just want to remind everyone, but this is for entertainment purposes only, okay? These are not based on facts. The disclaimer is down below. It's in the Tinker and down below in the description, because we will talk about a little bit about what's happening currently in the Middle East, because we know how people are worried and how there's a lot of scaremongering out there. There's a lot of, listen, it's politics. A lot of games are being played behind the closed doors and behind the scenes. So please don't believe everything that you read and hear, all right? Do your own research and use discernment. Use discernment. I know it's scary right now. A lot of people are talking about World War III. Let me tell you, we're not going to World War III. And if you will, we've been in World War III in quotes for a very long time. It's just a different form of war, if you will, okay? Because there are different forms of war at the moment happening. It's not just the wars, the military wars, and what's happening in the Middle East and Ukraine and Russia, and there are tensions between Pakistan and India right now, and there's also tensions between China and Taiwan. Everywhere you look, there are tensions and there are wars happening. But the biggest war of them all is what we've been talking a lot about here on this channel, which is the spiritual warfare. And the reason why things are so heightened and amplified right now, right this minute, and it has started since after the pandemic pretty much, is because they're losing the war. And when I mean they, I mean the dark side, okay? It's the light that now is winning. So we have to really hold faith here and really use discernment and not worry and not listen to what the mainstream media is saying. And also, we are all one, right? We're all part of the collective. We can change the outcome of things. And if we all work together, and it's not just about prayers and blessings and manifestation, it's about rising and I want to say raising our vibration and really having a more optimistic outlook in life, because anything that we say, anything that we think, it manifests, it forms because it's energy, and energy is very powerful, and we're made of energy. And I want to start this live by just reminding you these things, you guys, because I understand how worried you are, especially my American friends out there. They're worried because they're like, oh my God, we just got involved in another war. What is going on?
Yeah. And New York City is on high alert because of it. Major cities here in the States, Washington, D.C., New York City, major cities here in the States, Washington, D.C., New York City, L.A. are on high alert because of a decision by our government.
I know.
Or at least one sector of our government.
And something that I said in one of my past in my past lives, I believe it was last Sunday when we did talk a lot about what's happening. This was before America got involved. And people ask me, are like, is America going to get involved? And remember what I told you, America's already involved. Yeah. It's just that it's not going to come out and publicize. It's not going to come out and say, woohoo, we're right behind Israel. You know, we're behind this. And we are the ones who are really sort of, you know, we're the puppet masters here. No, but alas, look what happened. Look at what happened. Are we surprised? We're not surprised. But there is a reason why all of these things are happening. And we're going to ask the cards a little bit. We want to start off this live and Kempire definitely wants to ask a few questions around that. Maybe this will help put everyone at ease, or maybe understand what's currently happening in the world. And if that helps some people, then we're happy to help.
Yeah, it's a very tense time for a lot of people. And I think the wonderful thing from psychic readings and tarot readings and collabs that we've done, and the lightning readings for people get a sense of solace, a sense of just peace from knowing that, okay, it's, you know, because you will find more of what you're looking for, especially with the algorithms. When you see all these news reports, oh, it's World War III, then you will find more videos saying the same thing. But I think the basic question that we should ask, what will be Iran's response to this?
What will be Iran's response to this? For those of you who didn't watch that video, and I'm going to repeat what I said then, what I do see is this is going to be ongoing on and off. Like these tensions over in the Middle East and that area are going to continue on until what I got was the end of the year, on and off. You know, there's going to be an escalation, then there's going to be a little bit of a pause, and then there's going to be that, and it's going to be back and forth. I also did mention my past predictions, and I got this today before we came on, because I was connecting to my guides about what's going on in the area. The other thing that I had predicted a few months ago was disruptions in the supply chain, which we're seeing now, because now they are shutting off the channel of Hormuz. So the it's a major shipping route, right? So they won't be able to carry oil from China, from the Middle East to China to Europe, etc. This is something that I predicted a few months ago, and it's happening now. It's really happening now. So what is Iran going to do? Iran, to be honest, I know people are scared. There's a lot of this, again, it's propaganda, you know, where we grew up thinking that Iran is this nucleus of nuclear energy, right? And that it's like a major enemy, and don't aggravate Iran because you don't know what they're going to do, just like with Russia, right? Yeah. But how I see it, and this is, I'm not some political analyst here or anything like that. I'm just a psychic, and I'm just telling you what I get psychically and what I've been shown and what I know intuitively, is that Iran is not as powerful as people think. Iran is not the enemy, the arch enemy of the Western world, of Israel, of Putin. Although, speaking of, Putin and Iran are quite close, okay? But that's something that's not being promoted or publicized out there. So what's Iran going to do? Iran is going to do, listen, it's going to retaliate as best as Iran can. I don't see a nuclear war. Absolutely no. I believe a lot of these nuclear plants have been disarmed a long time ago. I don't believe they have as much plutonium in that area as they have made us believe. Okay. It's very much propaganda. So Iran is going to retaliate as best as I can until the regime changes. And I've said this, that I do see Iran going back to its heyday, its monarchy, the theocratic regime that is currently, since the 70s, 60s, 70s is going down, but it's going to take a few years before that happens. It's going to be a step-by-step process, but I don't see Iran retaliating in that. Yeah, I do see Putin and I do see Turkey as well getting involved in this whole situation as well. I do believe Erdogan behind closed doors is stirring the pot, because Erdogan, that's exactly what they want to do, is stir the pot, because we all know, and I live in Greece, so we all know Erdogan and like Greece and Turkey have a history, and the tensions every now and then, there are tensions mounting between the two countries, and Turkey threatens Greece, and Greece, it's a whole thing. And I believe that Erdogan now is stirring the pot, because his popularity in his country is dropping majorly. So he needs them, and the country is bankrupt as well. Something that the mainstream media doesn't talk about. And if you don't go digging, if you don't do your own research, you won't find out this information. That's why it's always important to do your own research and read also foreign newspapers, foreign independent journalists. What do they say? All right, not just CNN, NBC.
Because sometimes even when you start doing your own research, you don't realize how your research is being filtered through more propaganda. You know, and there's certain people buying space on the internet where it won't be the first thing that comes up. So that's why I like traveling and speaking to the people. I mean, I know we can't travel right now to certain countries, but when you travel to Europe, you can get a lot of intel.
Oh yeah. I agree. Talk to the people, talk to the locals, and see how they see things. And it's something that I said in my previous live, and then I had people on there, random people that weren't even part of my community, where they were just saying, you were excusing genocide and blah blah blah. They were getting all political, and I'm like, listen, I'm not against the Israeli people, for instance. I'm not for what's happening against Gaza and Palestine. I'm totally, it's genocide. It's a horrible thing what's happening down there. But on the other hand, the people, the civilians, are not the ones who are responsible for what's happening. All right? The Israelis are not responsible. The Russians are not responsible for what's happening.
Government.
The Pakistanis, the Indians are not responsible. The civilians are not. So they are victims of this as well. Let's not forget this. And of course, you have civilians that are brainwashed. Of course they are. But these are like very narrow-minded people.
Like we have civilians here that are brainwashed.
100% you do. We all do. In every country, in every corner of the world, you do have civilians who are very narrow-minded, because they are brainwashed. They're very brainwashed. They only listen to what their governor, their state leader tells them, their mainstream media. So we all have to keep an open mind with what's happening right now, and just be more empathetic with what's happening, even with Iran.
And understand the difference of, if you're going to criticize one side, doesn't make you anti-Semitic or believe in a genocide. But it's a very sad time, but it does seem like the world, and especially the people, the civilians, are waking up to like, especially growing up when we didn't have social media. Now social media has really changed the game when it comes to these political wars.
Exactly. So that's why people have to calm down, and hopefully we'll be able to calm you down. But let me tell you this, you guys, America has, do you know how many wars America has been involved in and you never found out? Do you remember Kosovo back in the 90s? Who brought down the government? Who brought down the government of Yugoslavia back then when there was a war in Kosovo? So again, do your own research. But back then there was no social media. You didn't have content. And that's the other thing that Kemba and I were talking about yesterday. We're like, it's very irresponsible of certain content creators on TikTok, on YouTube, on social media, and the misinformation that they put out there. People believe this misinformation. It's
also media outlets too.
Media outlets.
Like major media outlets. You're like, okay. But again, a lot of them are bought and paid. That's why I think it's important to, at least when you're watching, no one's saying that you shouldn't watch these media outlets or content creators, but just be mindful that just because one person says it doesn't mean that it is fact.
Exactly. And I think this is a big lesson for all of us. Listen, we can all sit back and observe what's happening, keep calm. Again, just try to keep positive, because we need to lift this energy right now, this collective energy. a lot is going to happen. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not saying it to scare anyone, but there's a lot more. I do see tensions between China and Taiwan, because China is like, when the whole world is watching, is not watching actually what's happening there. You know, China is going to make her move.
Wow.
And I've been saying this for a couple of years now, that I've been seeing Putin is now collabing, is teaming up, has always teamed up with Iran, and suddenly Putin wants to, he's adding himself in all this, and said, you guys will be a mediator. We don't need you, Putin, to be a mediator, dude.
Don't you have your own war that you're fighting right now?
Right. You wouldn't even pick up the phone when Biden was president. You wouldn't even, like, what are you talking about? Right. Even with Trump, you're like, you're jumping around each other. You're playing these games. And now you want to become mediator in these peace talks and these negotiations with Iran. Please. So again, a lot of things have been pre-planned. This is not, suddenly Israel is like, after 8 years of tensions in that area, where Israel has been threatening to bomb Iran for 8 years. Why is it happening now? Do you think you guys, this was like, spontaneous thing? Like Netanyahu, Bibi woke up one morning and said, you know what? I don't feel good today. I'm just going to take it out on Iran. It's a well-planned thing that they
documented years of the documentation of it.
Exactly. So,
but I've also heard your prediction about Israel. And based off your prediction about Israel, based on what we've been seeing, I'm starting to see that more and more.
Yeah. Because I've seen, like, when I was shown in one of my downloads and one of my meditation, what Kempire is referring to was that I did, when I was shown the area, that part of the area, and I saw it was just completely the topographical and the geography of that area was completely changed. There was no Israel. It seemed like there was one country. It's almost like Palestine, Israel, Lebanon. They all became like one country. It's almost like they're going to be eradicated completely, that area. So I don't know how we're going to get there, but this is what I saw.
Well,
in the future.
I literally have seen a video multiple times on Instagram showing what Gaza looked like before this war, and it's like night and day. So that's not hard to believe. That happened in a matter of months.
Same with Syria as well. Syria before the war was beautiful. It had like really beautiful buildings. It was green, big streets. It was a beautiful first world country, very much civilized with history and all of it. And look at it now. It's there's nothing's left in Syria anymore.
Sad.
It's sad. It's absolutely sad. So don't worry, everybody. Just buckle up. I'm more worried, to be honest. I'm not so worried about this war. Of course, you guys, it is going, just so you know, and luckily it's summer in the Northern Hemisphere, so it's not really going to affect us now, but it will affect oil prices. Yes. It will affect fuel, the supply chain. So a lot of imports and exports are going to get extremely expensive. I mean, in America, you already have the tariffs that are, making things very hard over there and a lot more expensive. But what I'm most worried about are the natural events or the natural disasters that I've seen and I've predicted happening.
Wow.
Than third world war, pretty much, or nuclear war, because that's not going to happen.
Okay, so confirming that, can we just ask the cards a question though in regards to to move on? What was the motivation behind President DT actually going? Because like you said, they have already been actively assisting Israel when it comes to this. But why the pomp and circumstance of actually doing it now? What was the motivation? Because clearly both Republicans and Democrats agreed on in Congress that they did not want to go to war. They were not they were not even asked. That is the proper protocol. When something like this happens, you have to get Congress's approval. AOC has said that these are grounds for impeachment. Not sure what impeachment is going to do. He's been impeached twice and he's president again. But What was his motivation behind doing this?
Every time I read around DT, the Donald, I get it's all business to him. You guys, he's not a politician. He's not. I'm sorry. He's a businessman. He's a good businessman.
Not a very good one. Okay, you say he's a good one. I was like, not a very good one. Bankrupt.
I was gonna say a good one, but I mean, a good one in his head. I don't know. He might be a good one.
He has to be, because how did you go from how many bankruptcies to the presidency?
That was my point. Yeah, how did he get there with all these bankruptcies and getting away with tax evasion? Okay, so let me show you the cards. 8 of Pentacles, it is the work card. It is the business card. This is all business for him. These are deals that he made before he was elected. You guys, I'm not making things up. I'm literally downloading stuff as I'm reading the cards and talking to you. So what I'm getting with this card is these are deals that he made even before he was elected president. Now, we're not going to get into this whole discussion about, rigging the elections and whatnot, and how did he know he's going to be elected, and Elon and the whole story behind it. This is not what we're going to focus on right now. But to him, this is business. He's not thinking of, and I'm sorry, if you are a Trump supporter and all that, you're very welcome here. Everyone's welcome here. But what I'm going to say now, you might not like it. This is not about his country. This is about his lining his pockets and really reinforcing his connections and his network with these very, very powerful people worldwide. So for him, it's business. He saw an opportunity. It wasn't like what I'm getting. It's not like America said, you know what, Bibi, you should bomb Iran. It's time. It's not that. It was Netanyahu said, of course, he had approval from NATO, the US. I don't care what anyone says. NATO definitely knew about this, in my opinion. All right. So they weren't out of the loop. There are rules in war, you guys. That what a lot of people don't realize is war is not, we're not in the 1700s anymore. There are rules. Even in war, there are rules that we have, that countries and states have to abide to. So this was something that has been discussed. And this has to him, it's business. That's motivation. He saw that the timing was perfect right now. Justice. This also means that something is coming out about Trump and his own personal legal crap.
Again,
there's more. There's
always more.
There's more. And I believe he knows that. So it's also a distraction, in my opinion. This is a major distraction. 4 of Pentacles. You guys, this is business. This is about the oil. This is about also changing the geopolitics in that area. In the Middle East. It's a very crucial, listen, that area, you have the area where Israel and Palestine are. Over there, you have natural gas, okay? You have oil. Then don't forget you have Saudis. Saudis are also, what I've gotten through my meditation and my downloads is that the Saudis are also behind this.
Wow.
Why? And what do Saudis have? Oil. This is all about crude oil, alternative also, what are they called? So fuel, alternative fuel as well. This was planned. It was just the timing is now. 2 of Cups, look. 2 of Cups working together, because you asked about DT.
Wow, yeah.
Working together. This was something that they had planned. DT agreed that he agreed that once he was president of the United States, that he would back them up. And this is what's happening right now. So that's the motivation, because DT does it because he knows that this is going to line his pockets.
Wow. I'm not, I wish I could say that I'm shocked, but I'm not. A lot of the moves recently.
Did you know that Ivanka Trump is married to Kushner, right?
Yeah.
Do you know Kushner's dad is best friends with Netanyahu?
Oh, I didn't know they were best friends. I know a former inmate.
No, no, they're besties. Whenever Netanyahu is in the U.S., he stays over at the Trump Kushner's.
Oh.
Do your research, guys. I'm not making this up. It's out there. So, do I need to say more?
Well, at least based on what you've said, and we'll move on, is the fact that despite everyone thinking that there's going to be World War III, I know you said that consistently, and even in today's reading, you're saying that no, this will not turn into a world war.
III, and not in the sense that everyone's thinking World War III. Oh my God, the whole world will be destroyed. We're all going to be living in bunkers, and we're not going to survive. There won't be any food. No, but world war or war has different forms, as I said earlier. There are different forms of war. It could be info wars. It could be fuel wars. It could be all sorts of wars. Yes, there are wars happening right now, not the wars where you have missiles and stuff going on, but not World War III in the sense that we're there's going to be a nuclear Hiroshima nuclear explosion and we're all going to die of hunger, or we're not going to survive. No, it's not going to happen, you guys. That no one wants this. No one wants this. Do you think the elites want for us, for the world to be destroyed and for us to be completely wiped out? How are they going to make money? How are they going to survive? What are they going to do? Think of it that way. Think of it a little bit more rationally as well. It's all about war. Is about, creating. It's always think of First World War. First World War happened after the Great Depression. Why was it? Because it was a reset for the economy. And what is the economy like right now? Again, reading, researching, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. And it's coming from me, and I have nothing to do with politics.
when you think about it, a lot of the things are the same, and they repeat themselves. It's cyclical. Happens again.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. It's cyclical. It repeats itself. So please don't worry, you guys. Just make sure, and this is something that I won't stop saying, when there's an election in your country, be so mindful who you give your vote to.
Sidebar, can we just ask a side question? Yeah. And this is just for selfish reasons. There's a primary happening right now because we have a terrible mayor and we're trying to get him out. Can you tell me whether or not Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of New York, will win this primary or not?
Someone asked me that as well, but I don't think I ever answered that.
Because it's a little scary with because we know the reason why he actually stepped down as governor, which is very weird that you would be the governor of New York State and all of a sudden you want to be the mayor of New York City. Sounds like a power move. That really should be the question, but I think we can kind of see through Cuomo.
Let me see. Let me ask if Cuomo is going to be. My cards are keep.
And I'll tell everyone else. Andrew Cuomo's father, the late Cuomo, who was also governor of New York State at one particular point, also tried to become mayor of New York City, but lost. Interesting.
Okay, hold on. Knight of Swords, Three of Wands, Death. Nope.
Oh.
That's a no. So I have Knight of Swords. Oh, he wants it bad for some reason.
Oh, I can tell.
Oh, he wants it bad. He's trying to make this happen. He's like lobbying and talking, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of that. Three of Wands, he's even looking overseas for endorsements.
He's getting a lot. I mean, that's one of the things that have come out during this primary. He's getting a lot of Trump donors that are supporting his campaign. And he's a Democrat. To me, he's no better than Trump, to be honest with you. He really, because he's doing this as a political move. He wants power.
Yes, I see that. And that's why he's looking overseas, or he's trying to get overseas some endorsements or help. But then I get the death. Nope, ain't happening.
I'm scared to even ask who's going to win the mayoral election. We're just talking about the primary, but I'll leave that in the hands of the voters. But yeah, go out and vote, guys. This Tuesday, today's the final day of early voting for the primary, and then Tuesday is the big primary day. But it's a heat wave here in New York City. So.
Val saying no one wants Cuomo, not even us up here in Canada.
I know the Canadians are all for Zoran, who's running. I mean, look, It's so interesting, but we can move away from the political stuff. But
JJ says Bill Clinton
of course he
endorsed
did.
Obama
These
today.
are all the Democratic elites. These are all the Bill Clinton's endorsement doesn't have the same weight that it did a few years ago.
Speaking of Bill Clinton, did you see a recent video of him? He looked so frail and so out of it.
He's very old.
84?
Yeah, he's pretty old.
He's same age as Trump, right? No, Trump must be a bit younger than Bill Clinton, actually.
Is he? I mean, Bill Clinton still looks better than Trump.
No, Trump looks good for his age.
I mean, he doesn't look frail, but
no.
I'm talking about like handsome.
No, well, Bill Clinton was handsome back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
He was.
He's also charismatic.
Yeah, that's true. And he's got that voice and that accent that makes him charismatic, but that's about it, in my opinion. Yeah. Anyways, all right. I don't know. Do you have any other questions around?
I don't want to know anything more. I think political. Let's get to the mess.
Let's get to the mess. All righty, everybody. Before we start, though, just a reminder, you guys, to like this video. Do help this channel grow. We're almost at 6,000. Help me get to 6,000, everybody.
Hello, everyone here. If you all followed, I mean, most of you are probably already following, but still.
Yeah. Follow, like this video, and do comment. Replay crew, do comment down below. Do let us know what you think. Do give us your commentary. Would love to see it, hear it, all of it. And also it helps us with the algorithm and the engagement and all of the stuff. As you know, YouTube gods love that. All right, so we're going to start. What we want to do with Campfire is we wanted to talk about, I mean, congratulations to Karen Reed. We are very happy with that.
Sure. I'm sorry. Every time you put it up, I was like, oh, damn. Okay. What a terrible. She's a pretty woman, too. That picture does not show it.
I could not find a decent picture of hers because a lot of them were from the court, from trial, and she looked very anxious and very serious.
Yeah.
So I took that one because that was her victory, and that was the I love you in sign language. So I thought, it was fitting.
Yeah.
It was fitting. But congratulations to her. And something that I said since 2024, I've been saying she's innocent. She'll be acquitted.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she did.
What will happen after this? Because she went from being a nobody to now everyone knows her name. There's a whole documentary. Like, what happens from this point on for Karen Reed?
Okay, let's pull some cards. What I know psychically that she will definitely listen. She's not going to go away quietly and enjoy her life now and go on holiday or do whatever she's going to do. Yeah, she needs it right now. I mean, she needs to rest. But what I do see is because of all the corruption and the fact that she went through what she went through because of the corruption there in Massachusetts, in Boston, and generally in that area, the corruption with politicians, with the police force, all of that. I do believe she's going to become an activist and will really raise awareness. And I don't know, I keep getting, and I'm hearing now that she might even get involved in some kind of organization, or she might even start her own organization. This could be maybe to help exonerate people who were falsely, accused of crimes because of police investigators misconduct or corruption and stuff like that. That's what I'm getting. But I'm going to pull the cards as well. What's next?
If it's going to be a new podcast, everybody got a podcast.
I know, that's so true.
But it's so funny how something like this horrific can happen to your life, and then now you have a whole new direction in life.
How things work out, like how things work for people, like it's incredible in life. Like,
I mean, I don't want to go through that, dear Lord. I don't need to be locked up in prison in order to get a new direction. Just send me a post-it or something, okay? Let it come up in a psychic reading. I don't need to go to jail. I don't need my boo to die. And then I'm set up. I don't need that. No, thank you.
No. But that was her contract. That was her soul contract. This was something that was pre-planned. So, and there was a reason for that. Okay, let's have a look. Let me see what's next for Karen Reed. 3 cards jumped out. Page of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, the Emperor. Listen, she's a smart woman. She's very smart, and I believe she's grown a lot since all this happened. Nine of Pentacles. Listen, okay. So one of the things she will advocate for children, some or young adults. For what I'm seeing with this Page of Cups here, maybe advocate for wrongly accused. I don't know, but I'm seeing getting involved or advocating for young adults, okay, or children. Two of Pentacles, she already has lots of proposals.
Oh, I'm sure.
For sure. Like, and not just interviews in podcasts and media outlets, but I see also job offers. People
What was her
offering.
job before this?
I
Do
don't
we know?
know. Can someone in the chat let us know?
I know you guys have been following it. You know, I have not followed this chapter and verse. I've already have enough stuff to follow, but I don't. I know her. Wasn't her late ex a police officer? Wasn't he?
Yeah, the one who died, John O'Keefe. Yeah, he was a police officer. I don't know what she did. I don't know. She was working at the time when she moved to that town, and when she moved in with him, as far as I know. But I'm sure someone in the chat will let us know. Yeah. But I see that she's getting job offers, so she'll be fine in life. I also get the Emperor here. Yeah, End Up says the same. I only know the basics, not the in-depth info. No. Okay, well, doesn't really matter because the good news. Yeah, the Emperor here is. This is the
way. What happened?
What happened? You guys, I wouldn't be surprised if she gets into politics or she gets involved with a politician. This is the Emperor. So these jobs that I'm seeing, these offers, it could be for a political party.
Oh.
Or she might, you guys, you know what I heard? She might, in the future, she might even, I'm seeing like the mayor of a town, city as well. She's going to get involved in, you guys, in politics and certain organizations as well.
I found her job on Google. They said she was a financial analyst at Fidelity Investments and an adjunct professor of finance at Bentley University, according to Vanity Fair. She was fired from both positions after being charged with the passing of her boyfriend. Damn, she lost her job.
Well, she's gonna get, but listen, that's why I see coins around her. She's very good with finance. I'm telling you, she's very smart, she's very savvy, but I do see her, she already is getting job offers and opportunities coming, but she will end up being more of an activist, if you will, more involved with community through politics, through becoming maybe even a spokesperson for some kind of organization. So she's going to do a lot of work. It's not over. She can't go to Maui and rest and sip cocktails, because I see the Hermit. Yeah, the Hermit is also that she's being led as well by spirit. There's a reason why all this went down with Karen Reed, and it's really going to change her future and open up a new path for her in the future, and she's definitely going to pay it forward back to the community and back.
That's awesome. Because I love that. I wouldn't blame her. She was just like, I am done. I'm going to go back to my regular schmegular life and not be in the public eye. But that's amazing. But again, like you said, it was her soul contract. So whatever happened to her, she's like, I don't want this to happen to anyone else. That says she's a good person.
I love that. Yeah. And she had so much support. It was really touching, like all the support, all these people, you know, they had their own hand signal, I love you in sign language. They were all wearing pink, my favorite color. It's touching. It's touching how many people really believed in her and believed in her innocence. Even after the mistrial, even before the mistrial and after the mistrial. So it's touching, and I believe this has touched her, and this is what motivates her to do good and pay it forward in society. So good for you, Karen. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay. Powerhouse, power woman.
Wow. Again, send me a Post-it note, dear God. I don't need I don't need that life. Okay, Lord.
End up saying
Did,
it.
did she
Nice.
spend any time actually in jail? I'm
She
sure she was
didn't. She.
arrested and then did she
I
what?
think. I think she did during her first trial.
Oh,
Didn't she?
I have
I
no.
don't know, you guys. I haven't looked into it
I
in
have
depth.
not followed the case. I thought that you guys want a psychic update. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked the question. I'm glad you asked the question
I
because
even
I
have my own cards here. I got my oracle cards here. You just tell me when you want me to pull them.
oh, you can pull them for the next person.
Wendy Williams.
Yeah, let me bring her up. Hold on. There she is, and she looks beautiful here.
Yeah. So Wendy Williams is back in the news this week. As you know, she's still fighting to get out of her conservatorship. But allegedly, there was a filing, a $200+ million lawsuit filed by Wendy Williams and her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter. However, Wendy has since come out speaking to TMZ directly, saying that she has no part in this lawsuit, despite her name being attached to it. She says that this is Kevin's way of at a money grab. Kevin, Kevin, as you know, has been cut off from alimony because part of their settlement agreement was if she's not doing her daytime talk show or her financial situation changes, either his alimony is reduced or it's eliminated. The Guardian eliminated his alimony.
Wow.
Mind you, he got a settlement allegedly, and he was getting alimony. He was also her manager, and he was an executive producer. He made a lot of money off of Wendy, but he also has very expensive taste. He had a side family as well, and he claims that he has nothing. He had to sell his $1 million home. He has no health insurance. His body's falling apart. Kelvin, this is your karma.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to remind everyone that Kempire and I have done three readings, 3 deep dives on Wendy in the last 3 or 4 years. So they're on both of our channels. So if you want to go and take a look at those deep dives, the last one we did was when you were in Greece. Actually, we did it here, and it was a real deep dive. We really looked into her finances, her relationship to her family, her relationship to her ex-husband, the financial aspect. So if you want to go watch that after this live or at some point, I highly recommend that you do. You can find it on both of our channels as well. So
yeah.
And it's interesting because I don't remember what came through. As you know, I don't remember all of my readings or the details, but I remember you asked that question, like, does Calvin have money? Like, because he's acting all poor and bankrupt. And I remember I said he doesn't. I remember that.
I believe it now because he's been trying to sue anybody at this particular point. So this is a new lawsuit that he's trying to sue. He's suing to get her out of the guardianship, and he's suing for money that he believes that he's owed. And at first, when I saw that the post had said that it was both Wendy and Kelvin, his real name is Kelvin, are suing, I was like, that's interesting. But Wendy Williams has confirmed that she has no part in this lawsuit, which makes sense. She's in a guardianship. She could not sue on her own without her guardian. So yeah, so she says she believes that this is a money grab, and she has said that he's going to fail.
Okay. So let's take a look. Will he succeed?
Yeah.
Will he fail? What is going on?
I already know the answer.
I already know the answer, but I'm going to pull the cards.
Yes, of course. Let's see what a lot of times the cards surprise me.
That's true. Me too. A lot of times I think it's going to go one way and the cards just show me something else. So you never know. Okay, let's see. Hunter. He's trying with any means possible, and he's broke AF. I don't know how he's going to pay his lawyers or his people. I'm just saying. Maybe there's going to be another debt over there. So I'm pulling the cards. 10 of Wands. This is good. The Empress, that's Wendy. 6 of Cups, the Sun, the Lovers. Let me make sense. I'm going to show you the cards, but I want to understand what they're saying. 10 of Wands, this is carrying a huge load, a huge burden. Of course it is. It's a conservatorship, and it's affecting him and his ex-wife, Wendy, their son as well. I'm worried about their son, by the way, about Junior. The Empress, this is Wendy. This is Wendy's card. Something that I keep getting is it's coming back to me now. I don't know if you probably remembered better than I do, Kemp. But when we did this last mega reading on Wendy, and you asked me about her son, Kelvin Jr. And it's coming back to me. I believe there is money that was set aside for him.
Oh.
There is money. Now, I don't know if it's part of the conservatorship or it's in some kind of diamond account or some kind of like secure account offshore. But she's definitely made sure that Junior is taken care of. Okay. And I believe that Senior, Dad, is after that money.
Oh, because he knows it exists. Because I'm sure they set it up together.
Yes. So what he's trying to do now, it's not so much about his alimony. It's he's trying to get out of this, or he's trying to get Wendy out of this in order for him to have not power of attorney, but maybe power of attorney with Wendy or whatever the technical thing is for him to get access to that money.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, that was the first thing that I thought of in regards to he wants her out of the conservatorship. That's what part of his lawsuit is saying. And I think once she is out of it, he's going to then come after her.
Yes, Six of Cups. Six of Cups. A lot of times it's the children card. It's the family, the legacy, the family, the children. Okay, and it is cups. It's not pentacles. This is not about inheritance. This is about an emotional connection with children. And then I have the Lovers. Let me pull one more. And Two of Cups. Actually, you know what? I'll surprise you with the one I'm going to say.
Oh.
Wendy's in on it.
Oh, I said that in my video originally before she came out with something. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Wendy has decided to work with him because she wants to get out of the conservatorship. But no, you'd say what you need to say.
She's working. So for the first time in a very long time, she's in on it. They're working together to get access to that money because it's quite a bit of money. The money for their son, in order for her to have a little bit of financial freedom and for her to eventually get out of this. And obviously, Kevin is going to get his cut.
Why is she denying it?
Maybe.
Oh, wait. I know why.
Why?
Because she's in a conservatorship and technically she can't be connected to it.
Yeah. And she's trying to have access to money.
And Wendy, if you know Wendy and you follow Wendy, and I've mentioned this before, Wendy is always good for concocting a plan. Just say she's always good for concocting a plan.
Yep.
Because technically, and I think she's tried this before in trying to get out of her conservatorship, hiring her own attorney, and they were like, the court's like, you can't hire your own attorney, you're in a conservatorship.
So now he's stepping forward, you see? She's not like, he's taking sort of the brunt of, he's leading this thing, so she doesn't get prohibited or, from it. So they're working together.
I wouldn't be shocked. I literally, before she came out with her statement, if you go back and you watch the video that I did on this, I said, okay, the fact that she's tied to this, I wouldn't be shocked if she decided to work with him in order to get out of this conservatorship. But then she came out through TMZ saying that she had no involvement. But then I think based off of the conservatorship, she really can't have involvement. Surely, so we solved the crime. Yeah.
We did. We're a great team. That's what we do here. That's what we do
and again,
here.
The cards surprise you.
See?
Whoa.
Wow.
And you have and thank you, Brina. And you did predict, if I remember, that Wendy will get out of the conservatorship.
Yes, I remember that.
Again, things can change though. What are the cards saying today? Should I put an oracle card too?
Why don't you pull one? Yeah, you pull one. Let's have you do it.
Okay. Hope that other card doesn't come up. You know which one I'm talking about. But it's okay. It's all right. I will censor it. Because these cards can be a little graphic, y'all. But these are oracle cards. They're not the regular tarot cards. All right. Oh. Soul loss. What would be your interpretation of this one?
Let me see the card. Okay. Soul loss. Did you ask if she's going to get out of it?
Yeah.
That's a no for me.
Ooh.
That's a no for me. But okay, ask it differently. Instead of asking it as a yes or no question, ask an open-ended question, because it's always better. Meaning, what's in store for Wendy in the future when it comes to the conservatorship or something along those lines?
Oh.
Okay, what does it say? Drought. The money's going to be out. Yeah, she will. So intuitively, how I see that card is she will eventually get out of it, but there won't be any money left by the time she gets out.
Who's spending all her money? I mean, I think it's obvious, but
someone has to ask whoever's managing her concern,
Sabrina Morrissey.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Ooh.
Didn't they do the same with Britney? Didn't they do exactly the same thing with Britney?
Yeah.
Where's Britney's money right now? Where did it all go?
And at least with Britney, she gets residuals. I can't say the same for, I mean, Wendy does based off of reruns of the Wendy Williams show, but I don't know where that's being played right now.
Exactly. So yeah, it seems that the money's going to be gone by the time she's free.
Wow.
That's why I don't know if it's a good idea if they have access to Junior's money. But anyways, sorry, go on.
What is going on with Wendy's mental health? Because the accusations that she has dementia has been put out there. However, if you've seen recent interviews, if Wendy Williams had the dementia that they're talking about, we would have seen it progress in a way that Wendy would not be able to have the conversations that she's having. What is going on with her health? How did Wendy end up this way?
May I also just say, speaking of, I'm just, sidebar, okay? Tom Girardi. Remember how John Girardi
is going to jail? Sorry.
He's going to jail. He doesn't have dementia. If he had dementia, he wouldn't go to jail at 89 years old. And I've been saying this from day one.
The judge did not fall for it.
He did not fall for it. So I'm just saying this whole spiel about dementia and just locking people up and taking away their power and all of that, we're done with it. We can see right through it. So back to Wendy. What is going on? Because I don't think Wendy's been through a lot. She's been through trauma. She had substance abuse issues. She's been, she's been attacked. She's been through it. But that doesn't make her mentally incapable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least intuitively. But I'm asking my cards.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's Wendy's mental health like right now? What is her mental health like right now? Okay. Let's see what the cards have to. The World. I'll show you the cards. King of Pentacles. She's very focused on this conservatorship. She needs out. What is the deterioration or the what's worsening her mental health is the fact that she is under this conservatorship. The World. I don't see anything wrong with Wendy, you guys. I don't. I think that she's been through a lot, which is it's normal, from the substances, the trauma, all of the stuff that she's been through, but it's not as bad as they make it think. Page of Wands, King of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. She's struggling more, you guys. It's more, I'm getting it's more of maybe she's bipolar or she's got very acute, or not acute, but very, very depressed. That's more what I'm picking up than just dementia or anything else happening. She's there. She's mentally there. She's just losing it because she doesn't have any stimulation anymore. She's just locked up in this hospice, whatever this place is.
Yeah, the senior living facility.
No one's visiting her anymore. She has no control of her life, and that would drive anybody crazy and act weird. I don't see anything wrong with her, to be honest. I feel it's more bipolarism, or like she's heavily depressed than
Maybe
a.
had like a mental breakdown after the divorce. Because remember, that's when a lot of this stuff started shifted. This had literally happened. She got the divorce from Kevin Hunter. He had a whole baby on, side baby on her.
Yeah.
She decided to divorce him. Then the pandemic happened, and she's isolated, can't go outside, can't do anything. She had to do her show from her apartment. So it was a culmination of things, and she was overly drinking. So it was like a combination of things. I think she had a nervous breakdown.
I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, she was also on the cocaine. She was on like, on snow. She was drinking. There was that. I mean,
We call it AC now. I don't know if you're watching Real Housewives of Miami. We call it.
What do you call it?
AC.
Oh, we call it AC. I've heard about the AC. What's the abbreviation of? Reminded me. Is it?
They said it's air conditioning, but Miami, we're gonna just call it AC. And for those that are watching Housewives of Miami, you know what I'm talking about.
All right. So she was on AC and she's talked about it openly in this. We're talking about Wendy. So it's a lot. It's going to drive anyone to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
You don't need to be mentally ill to get a nervous breakdown. It's just when things just pile onto you, at some point you're going to break down. Full stop. It happens. So I don't see anything wrong with her. And that's why I do see her eventually getting out of this.
Do you have a timeline? Look.
Time is ticking. There's the Third World War happening. No, I'm joking, people. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm connecting. I'm trying to get something. It's gonna take a couple of more years, I guess. I don't know. I cannot tell you for sure because that's not. When I can't get a timeline or I can't get something very, very strongly or concrete, it means that still the energies are shifting around that. So it could happen sooner rather than later, but not for the next 2 years at the moment.
Wow.
So yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Take a look at Christina's comment.
This one?
Yeah.
The caregiver works a memory care unit and assisted living facility for seniors, not having the family visit takes major toll on the residents.
Yeah.
I'm sad about that. Yeah, because I believe no one visits her, right, Cam? No one.
Well, it changed since everyone started protesting and putting a light on the situation. And so she's been able to see a little bit more of her family. Some of her friends have taken her out to lunch and things. But again, I don't know how often that is happening either anymore. But they definitely have loosened the reins since there's been so much public attention on it. But before that, no one really could see her.
I love Wendy.
Yeah.
I love Wendy. I really wish her the best. And it made me sad. Remember a few months ago that picture of her like through a mirror, through a window was circulating. It made me so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. I was like, this woman, which she doesn't deserve all of this.
After all these years of hard work, making these millions, she went from nothing to making millions on her own and just a legendary career. And she loved having her daytime talk show. So the fact that she doesn't have that now and she wasn't able to end it in a way that I think she would have wanted to end it, it's sad. It's sad for her career to end that way. So hopefully she gets a second chance so she can end it on her terms.
Oh, I hope so. She will. She will. Listen, she will never be back on TV. I don't see that happening. I believe that once she's free from this conservatorship, she's just going to go off and live her life and just live a quiet life. But I mean, I just hope it's sooner rather than later for her, which is what my guides are telling me. But, as you said, time's ticking, you never know. And the older we get, the more health issues we get. And I don't know. It really makes me sad with Wendy because she was a pioneer in what she was doing. Everyone is now doing what Wendy was doing back then.
They're not doing as good as her though.
No. How you doing? I can't even do that. How you doing?
I don't know if you can hear this.
How you doing?
Can you hear it? No?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
But it sounded very creepy. It was like, how you doing?
Excuse me, that is my voice.
No. What?
I
Bloody hell.
did a filter. I did a filter.
It sounds like you had too many baked beans, you know, and you were like,
oh God. All right, whatever.
oh Lord.
All right, we can move on.
Yes, we can. I'm just looking at the chat real quick to see what everyone's
Let's get
saying.
these likes up.
Which likes?
I was telling the guys, let's get these likes up. We should be at 100 likes.
Yes, let's get those likes up, everybody. Don't forget that. I know you forget. I know you forget. I forget too when I watch other people's lives and stuff, but that's why we're here to remind you. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, let's get into the heavy duty, the darker stuff.
The diddler.
The diddler. Can you say that one more time, please?
The diddler.
Linda, that's for you. The diddler.
Sorry. All right.
I love it. It's so fitting. It's so
Diddler the Tootsie Roll.
And the reason why I mentioned Linda is because I got a comment under my video and she was like having a go at me. And she's like, I cannot stand the fact that you call him the diddler. It's hard enough listening to the stuff that he's done. And you've mentioned the diddler 8 times in 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay, thanks for counting. And B, if you don't like it, don't like it at the end of the day. And there's always, listen, I'm here to take constructive criticism. I'm always open to constructive criticism, but I didn't like your tone, Linda. So for that, the diddler.
But my thing, what's better, calling him Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy? Like, these are all nicknames.
Or love.
And it's the complete opposite based on what we found out in this, criminal case.
Doesn't he have a baby called Love?
Yeah, his youngest baby. How
narcissistic, though, to call your baby after you or after one of your names or monikers. I mean, I can't with this
man. It's a big fraud based on what he's a master. What we've learned from this, no matter how you feel about the case, whether or not the prosecution has proven their case, what we've learned is that he's a horrible human being that has harmed women, has manipulated his staff, has forced them to work hours, and people were working 24 hours, 3 days. He's having freak offs for 3 to 4 days. Like, he's a manipulator. He's an abuser. We can't debate that.
Yeah.
So he doesn't deserve grace. Diddler.
I agree. The diddler, and also the diddler and his Tootsie Roll. Wasn't us, people. Okay?
It's in a recent lawsuit.
Mm-hmm. It was. I love the fact that it was in the lawsuit.
Yeah. It was in a lawsuit. Hey.
How humiliated he must have felt. I love it.
Well, that's probably part of the reason why he wanted to get S workers so that he could see an actual big one. What?
Oh, well, that must have been intimidating.
And Jane, when she testified, she said that she had to look into, what a cuckold is and whether he was bisexual, because the fact that he liked seeing her be with other men, she was concerned. And there's nothing wrong. We're not sex shaming, but
no, we're not. We are.
It was appropriate. Period.
Thank you, Christina. And yes, it is. I cannot stand saying his name. I've said this before. I do not want to say his name because I'm giving power. When something that people don't realize is when you call out someone or when you use someone's name or you mention someone by name, you're basically connecting to their energy and you're giving them power, because we've talked about how much power words have. Okay, so I do not, just like with his mom, I never mention her name.
The bad wigs.
The bad wigs, the bad witch with the bad wigs. I'm not going to mention her name. So diddler is very, very, very fitting for the diddler. Okay, and I'm not going to mention him by name because I do not want to give him that power. I just don't. Full stop, Linda. Whether you don't like it.
Okay, Linda.
Kempire knows how petty I can be.
That's a Scorpio moon.
Yes. I can be so petty sometimes, and especially when I feel that someone is, because I'm someone who's Virgo rising. I'm someone who likes justice. I'm very much I will always support the underdog. I'm all about justice and being fair. But if I feel that someone's not being fair to me, you're going to get it back. Okay. You're going to get it back.
Sorry, but not sorry, Linda.
Exactly. All righty. Let's get to the diddler and his Tootsie Roll. No, we don't care about his Tootsie
Oh
Roll.
God, no. Okay. So there's been a lot of stuff, and I've been covering this case every single day on my channel. So if you missed any of it, I've been talking about it there and on my podcast. There's a lot happening here. I have to first talk about the juror, though, because Diddy really tried to keep this juror number 6. But juror number 6's story about where he lives was we burned. Okay, burned. Well, juror number 6 could not give a concrete answer on where he lives. I need to understand, because there were people speculating that juror number 6 was a plant by Diddy. I don't believe that.
No.
I did a collaboration with a Los Angeles prosecutor by the name of Kirsten Brown, and she says there's a reason why they're legally trying to trigger a mistrial or citing a mistrial is for when they apply for an appeal. But I need to know whether what was going on with juror number 6. Was he intentionally trying to mislead the court, and why? What was the intention behind that?
So I'll pull the cards, but let me tell you what intuitively I was getting when all of this was going down. So he's a corrections officer, right?
Yeah.
So we found out he's a corrections officer. So as soon as I heard that, I'm like, okay, it makes sense now. I believe that he was so invested in getting on that jury because, listen, he's a corrections officer. He talks to prisoners and inmates all the friggin' time. All right. And some of these inmates may be indirectly or directly connected to the diddler or someone in his posy. So this is what I was.
Posy? Did you mean posse?
Posse, yeah.
I said posy. What's a posy? What in the Parker Posey is going on? Piper.
Oh God!
Sure people gonna get that, but it's okay.
Oh, I love that. So this is this.
Buddhism. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Sorry. Buddhism.
Hold on, I've got to gather myself to do this. All right. Let's see what was up with juror number 6, and then we had issues with juror number 7, and then it was juror. It's never ending. But let's focus on juror number 6.
Yeah, because that's like the hot topic this past week.
Yeah. So why did he lie? Why did he want to stay on? Why was he so?
Like, what was the intention? Like, what was really happening? Because I have to say, based on all the reports that were coming back, it just didn't make any sense. And then they were fighting hard. And there were a lot of people speculating that Diddy planted him there. But I was like, a small part of me thinks that could be true because I do believe Diddy is trying to influence the jury. He's been admonished by the judge in this case to his legal defense team that he needs to stop trying to engage with the jurors. And also, I need to ask about the I know you to Stephanie Sue from Rotten Mango.
That is a good, yes, Kemp. I'm so glad you remembered. Yeah, because we were talking about this with Kemp yesterday. We're like,
Just in case we forget, bring it up again, guys. But let's first ask this question. We're getting old.
Not that old.
No, my memory's fantastic. I have the memory of an elephant.
I
can only do this on your channel.
I love it. Play away with your soundboard. I'm good. Okay, hold on. I need to focus on this jury number 6. Hold on. Okay. What? Yeah, I don't like his energy, you guys. Like, what I was getting while I was shuffling is like he's a little bit of starstruck. I believe that he's a diddler fan.
He was a fan of the 90s R&B.
Yep, it seems so. 3 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, but definitely someone gave him money though.
What?
I'm not saying the diddler though. But don't jump.
Yeah.
Don't jump into any conclusion. Not you, Kemp. I'm talking about people who
Yeah.
6 of I was right. I was like intuitively I was right. This is someone who was a diddler fan or is a diddler fan, someone who was in his hip hop 90s era, whatever. And Sorry, what was that?
He's around our age, so it makes sense.
Then it makes 100% sense. 9 of Swords. Interesting. 9 of Swords means that he was cut out. Yeah, he was cut out. He was asked to leave. So interesting enough, it has to do with the inmates. It has to do with he's quite popular where he works, like in the prison that he works
Juror
at.
number 6.
Where?
Juror number 6. He's popular in the prison.
Yeah, I mean, like popular. I mean, he's liked with the inmates, or he's buddies with the inmates. Let me just rephrase it that. And I see 3. There are 3 people. I get the 3 of Wands, but I see them as people in this reading, in this case. There are 3 people there. Actually, they even gave him money. These are I believe inmates gave him money.
For what? To stay on the case? To get on the case?
Just to get on the case, to stay on the case, to get on the case. Now, I don't know if those inmates, I'm going to ask the cards, are connected indirectly to the diddler or anyone from that camp. Let me ask.
Let's be honest. You think Diddy's just sitting in prison, not making networks? Like, this is his personality. He's a manipulator. You think he didn't go into prison and is not manipulating people and trying to form his own inner circle within the prison, especially if he ends up staying in prison. And keep in mind, the intention here could be all he needs is one juror to be on his side in order to cause a mistrial.
Exactly, which is what they fought for. If you remember, for 2 days they were fighting over this juror.
I read the 14-page letter. Yeah.
Wow.
That they sent to the judge last weekend. And they had valid points. I'm not going to deny that. They had some very valid points.
Yeah, sure.
But the intention behind keeping this juror is interesting.
But they made it as but what they brought up the race card though.
Yeah. Which again, valid points within what they were saying.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be a jury of his peers. And then they were talking about, what this could mean for future jurors of, color, because they already do not want to serve. They do not respond. Like valid points. But they were fighting very hard for a person that could not be very clear on his answers in regards to where he lives or whether or not he has a fiance or a girlfriend. I don't know.
I agree. 5 of Wands. So 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups, you guys, is a family member to me. So I was asking, do any of these inmates, the 3 inmates that I saw earlier, are they connected to the diddler in any shape or form? And I got the family card, the first one. So, and the Ace of Cups. One of these inmates is connected to the family, the diddler family, the Combs family. 5 of Wands and Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is also someone bearing a message. Someone also, cups can also be, cups is emotions in tarot, but also the cup is also filled with secrets, things that, feelings and secrets that are not out in the public. Let me keep going. Justice. Oh Lord. This is a lot more complicated. Someone should investigate your number 6, to be honest. This is a lot more complicated. But maybe we shouldn't be saying this because we don't want a mistrial.
Well, it's too late. They've already dismissed him. Oh,
good. Okay. So they can't go back and okay, good.
It's already been dismissed. And I'm glad that the judge, because some people were on the fence. They said that's why they did the 14-page letter that they sent to the court, because they want to highlight this for a future appeal. But exactly, Sulfa, we're missing 72 likes. Come on, people, keep liking and subscribe.
And the star, look, starstruck, definitely. Definitely. So juror number 6 was like, he is a diddler fan. And he definitely has been talking to these inmates who are connected. One of them's connected to a family. I'm just going back to, because it's starting to become more clear in my head. It takes a while sometimes, sometimes the cards come through and insights come through, and then it's a bit murky. So kind of like, I have to interpret it and just make sense of it. So there is a connection there. There's definitely a connection there. And he got money for it, you guys. This is illegal. I'm sorry. Allegedly for entertainment purposes, maybe after the court someone can investigate this further, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing as a psychic.
Wow. Again, I think the judge made the right decision. His story was not clear, and I think he wanted to maintain the integrity of this case. He's already said at the top of this proceedings that he does not want this to be a gossipy situation. Oh, sidebar. The judge this week went in on both the prosecution and the defense because an unsealed piece of information ended up in an article. So the judge is reading the blogs. Hey, judge. Because he said, and we still do not know what this article said, but maybe the cards can tell us what was this piece of information that was under seal that ended up in the article.
Oh, wow. Hold on, let me read what Sunshine is saying. For jury members, I thought he was like me because I'm eligible for NYC jury duty, even as an FL resident. Oh, I worked in NYC, have an NYC apartment with collected employment, so I'm eligible. Okay.
But are you eligible, Janelle, are you eligible to perform jury duty in the Southern District of New York?
Good question. Good question.
Or
yeah. Interesting.
But again, but you see how Janelle was able to clearly state what she's eligible for and why? She says, yes, I am.
Yes, I am. She says, yeah.
His responses were not clicking for the judge.
Exactly.
His responses were inconsistent.
And he found a loophole, and he knew how to find a loophole, which is all concerning to me. Because if it was like an innocent mistake, or he just omitted to, tell them where he lives, whatever, he would have said it from the first time.
And he made a mess up because he made a casual statement to someone in the jury, not another juror, but the people that oversee the jury. He made a casual statement that made an alert to that person, and they brought it to the attention.
So very, very, very sus, and it's confirmed by my cards that this was us, and it's not because he wasn't there to influence the other jury, because he can't. A lone jury can't do this if the other the other 11
that person that.
Yeah, but he was definitely there because he wanted to be there for it, like have front row seats to
also, we have to keep in mind, and Kirsten Brown, who I had on my channel, said after this is all said and done, these jury people can either go into anonymity for the rest of their lives, or they could end up doing interviews and writing books.
Right.
And I already gave him his title during my last collab with Kirsten. I said, juror number 6, the untold story.
Right. Interesting. Like, I saw a juror from Karen Reed, and Karen Reed just ended like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
He's been on the podcast talking about the court. So, I mean, you're right.
He's probably getting paid for that.
He's paid.
I don't pay my guests, but yeah.
I know, but okay. So let's go back to your question. What was your question about the docket, about the evidence on the docket?
An unsealed piece of information, evidence that ended up in a public article, and the judge found out about it, and he admonished both the prosecution and the defense because they both denied having any part of it. First of all, I guess we should ask, what was that unsealed piece of information? And who was the one? What side is the one that leaked this to the press?
Was it TMZ?
Oh, we don't know what article the judge is talking about. No, none of the journalists know.
Okay.
Maybe it was TMZ, the fact that you said that. Because
that's what it came through. Just like TMZ. And we know what TMZ, and we know that TMZ with was it with not Friedman? What's his name? I call him Gruffalo because I can never say his name.
Mark Agnifilo or something like that.
Agnifilo. Isn't he buddy with a TMZ?
Well, he did interviews. He was doing a lot of press before this trial started, and at one particular point, they had to put a gag order, so they had to stop doing press. He even was in the TMZ documentary on Diddy. He's a little questionable too, though. He's represented a lot of questionable people over the years.
Karen says Garagos.
Which one? The Mark Garagos or
Mark? I think not Tini. I think Mark. Yeah. TMZ's Garagos. Okay, sorry, I got it wrong. So TMZ's with Garagos. Yeah, not Agnifilo.
Oh, but Agnifilo did do the TMZ documentary. He's definitely spoken with them.
But I believe the TMZ, the what's it called, the owner of TMZ is like
connected to him.
Bessie's chummy with Garagos.
Garagos has represented a lot of these celebrities.
Exactly. So Teeny Garagos, her father has a podcast with Harvey Levin. Yeah, there you go. There's the connection.
But the judge has already called him out. Literally, the judge at the top of the trial said, you know, be mindful of what you say on that podcast. You have a new listener. Because he had said something on the podcast early in at the start of the trial. And he warned him.
I like that judge. He's on it.
Come on, Aaron, the Romanian. If I'm probably still saying that name incorrectly, but I apologize.
Yeah, I can't.
I saw him in the streets.
You did?
I think. I'm not sure.
I like him. He seems to be very fair as well. He's as fair as he can be in this case. Okay, let's find out what what evidence. Sealed evidence. It seems it's text. I'm getting texts. I'm getting texts coming through. And it is an outlet like TMZ. It's like one of these.
Like gossipy.
Yeah. Page 6.
It wasn't TMZ. Like a New York Times.
No, it's one of these gossip, because I believe, you know, if you see something like that on New York Times, you're going to take it serious, right? But if you see it in a gossip, you're like, I'm not sure if this is true, but it's still out there. It still kind of goes into this rumor mill where people might pick it up. I'm seeing it's text messages, the evidence that they
because although they're reading a lot of text messages in court, there are some that are under seal as well. So, and that was the judge's main concern, is that these particular texts were under seal, and he asked both the defense and the prosecution who was behind it, and they both denied it.
I'm getting also that those texts are texts. Christina Quorum's name comes up. KK. And who leaked it? Let me see who leaked it. Let me try and ask my guides and see who leaked. Defense. Defense. And I believe in those texts, there were texts from Christina Quorum. And for some reason, Christina Quorum is out of bounds. And I've said this in a mini reading that I did in the past.
What do you mean out of bounds?
Out of bounds, like, no, like she's not going to testify. I don't believe she's going to testify.
You did predict that, and she's not testifying. No, they basically are resting their case come Monday.
Yeah, which is weird, isn't it? Wouldn't you want?
If KK was going to testify, she would need several days.
Exactly. If you had Shane Doe for 6 days testifying, Christina Quorum should have been there 2 weeks, because she was his right hand.
The LA prosecutor, Kirsten Brown, that I did an interview with, she says, well, technically, she didn't need to testify because the text messages from her can be considered her testimony.
Oh.
I was like, I didn't think of it that way.
Interesting. But would she want asylum, though?
Say again?
Not asylum, immunity.
Immunity?
Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, they've already called her an unindicted co-conspirator. I don't know if charges will be brought up against her later. Kirsten doesn't believe so, just because they have their top guy at this particular point. Why would you go for someone, an underling? Sorry, KK, but it is what it is. But it doesn't mean that they can't. She doesn't have immunity that we know of.
So I don't know what KK is thinking. Thank you, Danny. Everybody, make sure that you thank Danny, because she gifted a FemmeTarot membership. Thank you so much. You're so generous and so kind, always. Who got it? Someone got it. Well, let me see. Okay, someone got the membership. Is going to have her own case against her. So Blair says that she might have her own case against her, KK. We'll get to KK in a minute. But yeah, to answer your question, I believe there were texts. They were texts that were also from KK. I believe, in my opinion, that it's the defense that leaked it. Leaked it in one of these gossipy, yellowy, press. And but what's interesting to me is, again, I want to go back to what I saw in that mini reading of KK that I did. I believe there's been a deal. There's been a deal between, thank you, Camp. Thank you for gifting. You guys, Camp gifted 10 FemmeTarot memberships, you guys. This is so nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. I believe there's been some kind of deal made between defense and prosecution about KK. So I wasn't shown what that deal was. Maybe we can look into this today and see if we can get a little bit more information around that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wait, what are people saying? She will, and the others who did not testify, she said it at the start of the trial. They did? I didn't know that. They said
I don't recall them mentioning KK
No.
testifying, but there was a victim number 3 that was supposed to testify.
Witness, yes. She was supposed to testify. She never.
Yeah. So I don't know if they could not find her and she was not agreeing to testify. That was never made clear, but she was supposed to testify. She was a part of their list of witnesses to testify, and she ended up not testifying.
Well, you know what's interesting? Because when I did a reading on her 2 or 3 weeks ago on this witness number 3, and I saw that she was offered money, hush money.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense to me because why wouldn't you? She literally did interviews 5 years ago alleging the same thing as Cassie, but everyone was like, oh, whatever. And literally mimicking what Cassie has said about the diddler.
True. So maybe she just had, because when I saw it, I did see the last minute she would testify. She would come up. Obviously, it didn't happen. So something changed in between, then and now. So when I did that reading and now for her not to come forward, because I did see that she was offered hush money, like from the diddler side, saying, don't testify, take this money, disappear, go do your thing, but don't testify against the diddler or else. And maybe she got scared in the end because she and that's the thing. There's a lot of misinformation going around, and I want everybody to know there is a lot of astroturfing happening right now from Diddler's camp. All right, a lot of these free Diddy, these, like, when you go in comments, under the comments in various videos or TikToks, whatever, you'll see people who are very much defending the diddler, and they're using the race card. Another thing that they keep using when people run out of arguments.
Well, his case is using the race card too. They specifically said before this trial even started that was going to be one of the things. They're trying to take down another black man. But since you brought that up, a couple of things. Outside the court, there are people wearing free Diddy. I don't know if they're still doing it at the first couple of weeks they were, but we found out that they were paying people. Some of them look unhoused, $20 an hour to wear free Diddy merch. The other thing, because I didn't forget, because Elephant Brain is working today, Stephanie Sue from Rotten Mango. She said a couple of weeks ago that Diddy looked at her and said, "I know you." And then she was sort of like, I don't know if he was talking to me. And then he did it again. What was Diddy trying to do? Because she's also alleged that she's been getting weird questions. She's had to change where she's staying multiple times. So, like, what are people trying to get to Stephanie? And she's also been asked by certain people, like, your followers, you have a lot of followers. Your followers listen to you. They'll do whatever you say.
It's crazy to me. And also, she went MIA for a week. She hadn't posted in a week, and people were getting worried. And she posted on Friday on YouTube, and she did add in the comments or in the description, she said, I have been away. I cannot share with you quite just yet why. A lot has happened. Very cryptic.
Now you're gonna got me watching Rotten Mangoes. I'm like, what happened, bro?
She's good because she gets into she describes everything, what happens at court, how the jury reacts, how the diddler is, what happens in the overflow room. Just she's good at what she does. But did you know, speaking of Stephanie, and then I'm gonna pull the cards, but what is interesting is because I've been watching some of her videos, so the algorithm now suddenly is now showing me Nikado Avocado. You know the huge YouTube. You haven't heard of him?
Mm-mm.
She used to collab with him with these mukbang videos.
Oh.
He's huge in mukbang videos. So what are mukbang videos? I can't watch that. I'm gonna throw up just watching it. So what they do is like basically they take like huge amount of different food
Yes.
and they eat it in front of the camera. Okay, so this is content. This is a huge thing. There's a huge following for it. Nikado Avocado gained a lot of weight doing mukbangs for many years, and suddenly he had laid out this amazing plan where he had pre-recorded videos for a year. And during that year, he went on a weight loss journey. He lost all of it. He became skinny. And suddenly he appeared skinny and people were like, how did he do that? What is going on, etc. But I'm just explaining who he is. He's got millions of subs. Okay. So he stopped doing mukbangs now, mukbang videos.
Uh-huh.
But suddenly, and I found it very weird, this week when everyone's talking about Rotten Mango and Stephanie and where is Stephanie and the whole, the Didders saying, I know you, and all of that, he's come out with videos now explaining why he had a falling out with Stephanie years ago. And she had come out with a video saying that she found him creepy, that he was at her place, he was taking pictures of her place and where she has cameras, like his whole behavior was creepy.
You see why I don't have people over my house like this?
Right. I know. So they had a huge falling in, and now suddenly he's making videos about Stephanie. They haven't collaborated in years. She doesn't talk about him at all. And now, amidst the Diddy trial, which is the biggest thing of her career right now for her and her channel, he's now suddenly attacking and putting out videos. It's all weird.
Wow. I guess clout chasing of it all. What did Janelle say? I missed it.
Sorry.
That you just posted.
We didn't read it, did we?
No.
Oh, but I want to bring this up. Thank you so much, explorers. Thank you. Where's Janelle? Where's Janelle? There she is. Online crime. A viewer said that TK is being represented by Garagos. Oh. Couldn't confirm, but said they would look into it. It makes sense if true, and I don't think she'll testify for the defense. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
It also put her in a legal liability if she goes to testify and then she has to be cross-examined by the prosecution. They're already referring to her as an unindicted co-conspirator.
Oh, exactly. And you guys, if you ever unalive a person, you should get Garagos. It seems that he's got his paws in every honeypot. So he seems to have all the right connections and know the right people. Just saying. But that's what makes a good criminal lawyer, right?
No. So okay. The Amber Rose situation.
Oh, that we'll have to do it at a different light, but I will add it to my list. Yes.
In regards to the Stephanie, what was Diddy meaning by saying "I know you"?
Okay, let's see what comes through.
And is he sending people to come, trying to connect with her?
Well, I'm getting that. I don't know if he has access in prison to YouTube or TV. Well, I know they have TV. They have a communal room where they watch TV. But it seems that is it King, the oldest son?
No. The oldest son would be
not
Justin.
Quincy. Justin, right? Justin. I believe Justin keeps follows content creators and channels that cover the Diddler, and because my guides are showing me lists. So Justin and some of his other kids keep notes, like they really thorough with note taking, and they share this with their dad through his lawyers.
I figured that's how he knew.
Yeah,
I didn't see him on a burner in his room in the cell looking at Rotten Tomato,
no.
Rotten Mango,
Rotten Tomato.
Sorry.
That's different.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's what's happening. So they're keeping tabs of everyone, including you, I guess, Campari. But I guess no, I'm joking. You're not in court. You're not in court, but they're keeping tabs. They're keeping tabs on anyone. They watch everyone's. This is what my guides are showing. They're watching everyone's channels and social media who are covering this. He's such a petty little bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it just came out.
Linda's gonna go off in the comment section. Now you're calling him the B word?
Yes, Linda, I am. Okay, I'm gonna use the word. That name. That's gonna be my Karen name because I have Karens in my community and I love them. So we're gonna use the word Linda.
I was like, because I really for a second I was like, you have Karens in your name? Like,
no, not that type of Karens.
Literal Karens.
I love the Karens. So we're gonna call them Lindas. But anyways, no, it just came out so spontaneously. But this is what I see. Like he is such a control freak, the diddler, that he literally just wants to know everything, what they're saying about him, who's covering him, all of it. And that's what I don't think it's threatening. Like, I know you, I know where you live, and I'm going to come after you. But it's like, I know you as in, I know I have control. He has a thing about control. We see this with his sexcapades, right?
No.
We see these with the freak offs. It's all about control. And in our readings camp, every time we read him way before the trial began, it always came up. He's got a thing about control. He needs to feel like he has control. So even in prison, even with how people are covering his trial, he wants to have control over these people.
Which says to me, if I'm going to use my degree in psychology, is that at some point in his childhood, he felt like he didn't have control. And that's why he has this desperate need for control as an adult over people, things, and even if you look at some of the testimony where he had one of his Capricorn Clark, I feel like him having her go to this empty office building for 5 days, questioning her, was not just that he believed that she really stole the jewelry. I think he was trying to control her and exude his control over her and see how much control he has over her. There's so many examples from the assistants and the girlfriends testifying. It was him testing his control and manipulation.
Exactly. What's the thing with the white nail polish?
Yeah, I should ask you. I don't know. We never got to the bottom of why he prefers his ladies and his mama white nail polish.
That's what I find weird, because we all know he has a very weird Oedipal relationship with his mom. All right.
She's been there every day too, listening to all of this tomfoolery.
Oh God, I can't. But what's with the white nail polish? I
ask the cards.
I should ask the cards.
I'll be right back. I drink all this water and then and pull the cards. I'll be right back, y'all.
Okay, go ahead. So let's see what's going on with this nail. I did see a comment under a video, which I thought it was a good theory around it, that he likes white nail polish, especially when Black women, especially on Black women, because he likes the contrast of it. And in the dark of these freak offs, he can see where the hands are. This is a theory that I saw, which made kind of like it clicked and made sense, but I'm just saying. Oh, explore, Linda, listen. Linda, you asked for it, girl. You asked for it. Yeah, that's exactly what I saw as a theory online, and it makes perfect sense to me, to be honest. And the fact that his mom also wears white nail polish. Tom Sandoval wore white polish too. Oh my God, I forgot about that. You're so right. So right, but except that Sandoval is white. So yeah. Let's see. Hold on. What's the white nail polish? The diddler. What's with the white nail polish?
Cyber, while she's doing that, guys, don't forget, I'm going on tour. I'll be in Philly on July 10th. Then I'll be in Atlanta on August 5th. Then I'll be in DC on August 22nd. Then back here in New York City on September 12th. Ticket information can be found on my channel.
Ooh. That was fast. You were like, you know how you have those ads, those like, you know, ads for drugs and stuff for medication, and then and they're like, and the side effects, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's exactly how.
Yeah, and you might die.
And then you get hemorrhoids and you die. Okay.
Will it make me look beautiful? Period.
We were just talking about the theory of the nail polish, which made sense to me. It was a theory that I saw online in one of the comments that they said that he likes the contrast against the dark skin, the white, and also because you can see white when it's dark and against dark skin. So it's part of his fetish.
Along with all the oil and the Astroglide.
My God, did you see those pictures?
Oh.
All that oil, all that baby oil, and the Astroglide.
I'm afraid to buy baby oil now.
I mean, and his tits-year-old definitely doesn't need Astroglide. Oh. I can't help myself, people. I really can't. I really
fit in the comment section.
I know. I'm gonna get my channel. I can say whatever I want. Okay. It is totally it's a fetish control thing again. I have the 6 of Pentacles. He must have watched a lot of, so I'm just telling you guys what's coming through. He must have watched a lot of corn when he was younger. I am getting that he had a corn addiction when he was younger. And maybe in the corn stuff that he was watching, there was somewhere he saw one of them wearing white nail polish, and it's sort of stuck in his subconscious mind.
The baby oil as well.
Maybe it's about baby oil too. Yeah, the whole like yeah, that could also be it. From like fetishy corn stuff. But it's definitely like a fetish, something, because look, I have the Page of Cups. It has to do with his childhood. So I guess he watched corn in his when he was like a teen, or, you know, in puberty, whatever. And I hope he was a teenager when he was watching corn, and not, you know, under the age of 10, because that would be weird. And he's just built this, you know, this sort of fetish, this corn. Because, you know, being a cuckold as well, it's an addiction. This type of, you know,
fantasy,
sexual encounters. Yeah, it's an addiction. It's just like corn. You know, people are addicted to watching corn, but when it's time for them to, you know, get into action, they can't without corn. This is what I kind of get with him, you know. It's almost like that white nail polish just gets him going. Yes. Wow. Connected to corn. Yeah. It's all really weird, sick.
Sidebar. And another question, because there's been so much. We've been covering this case for like 6 weeks now. Going in the 7th week. Kanye West made an appearance at the courthouse.
I know.
What was the motivation behind that? And was he the rapper that Jane was referring to, that she had witnessed a rapper and his wife have their own freak off? And Diddy found out about it. He didn't like the fact that she was there.
Interesting. Okay, I'll pull the cards for the second part of your question. The first part of the question, because I have read on that. It's Kanye when he was sending a message.
To whom?
To everybody. He was sending a message. And let me tell you, Kanye is not afraid of the diddler, but he's afraid of people who are more powerful than diddler. There are other people behind, let's say, the diddler, or he has connections to a lot more powerful people that did not come up in the trial. And a lot of people were very disappointed. Of course, they're not going to come up. They just want to get the RICO case, right? They don't need to bring in all of other people and create a huge
They're
thing.
after Diddy. He's the big fish.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that once this trial is over, more people are going to come. Like, what I'm trying to say here is
like a domino effect.
It's going to be a domino effect, and we're going to see a lot more of these diddler style trials,
like Tyler Perry, allegedly.
Like Tyler Perry, and we'll get to him in a minute. So he was sending a message there. I'm not scared of you, and you should be afraid of us. This is what I feel.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I was yelling. Wait a minute. So you're saying that he went there as a representative, technically, for the others, the more powerful.
Yeah, that's
people?
what I saw in my reading. Yeah, yeah. That's why he only stayed 10 minutes, and he was out there because that was the point of it.
30, I think 40 minutes technically. He didn't even get to make it into the courtroom.
He didn't. No,
he didn't need to though, because I'm sure Diddy found out that he was there.
True, and I saw then when I did that reading, I think last week, he will come back to court. He will come back to court. Kanye will make another appearance, that's for sure. So I don't know if he's going to enter the court or he's just going to be outside and talking to the press or just wants to be photographed, but he'll be back. He'll be back. And he was sending a message. And Kanye. Let me ask the question about, is that the couple that...
they had their own freak off.
Who testified? Capricorn. Capricorn said that?
No, it was one of Diddy's victims, Jane, testified.
Oh, okay, Jane Doe. Okay.
She had saw one of the S workers that were a part of their freak offs at this other freak off, or this other big known rapper and his wife.
Okay, let's see. Was that Kanye and Bianca? No, but back then it wasn't Bianca, right? Back then it was. Are we talking about Kim or Bianca?
No, we're talking about. Well, you tell me. No, I think they're talking about.
I think Bianca.
Years. It was recent because Jane was with Diddy in recent years. He literally, when he went to jail, is when they broke up. True. So it's recent years.
No, I don't know. My gut is saying it wasn't.
Not Kim.
Kim. No, not Kim. Not Kim.
But you never know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Kardashians, we can say a lot about them, but I don't personally think that Kim participated in free calls.
I don't know how Kim was even with Kanye for as long as she was. But
I don't know, and
we don't need to talk about them because
we don't need to talk about it. But my suspicion is that they weren't intimate either. Anyways, that's just saying, just my opinion. But anyways, let's move to, let me ask if Bianca and Kanye were the couple that she was referring to. Jane Doe. Yep. I'll pull the card, but I feel it's a yes. 2 of Pentacles. 7 of Wands. The Fool. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people piece the information together just based off of it was a birthday party and it was in Vegas, and Bianca's birthday was in January, and so a lot of people are already piecing it together. I just wanted to verify via the cards.
Yeah, well, the cards are confirming, so that's what they're saying. The Fool, and they're acting all dumb and stupid, like meaning like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. They're not going to come out and ever admit to it, and no one's going to come out and out them, but it's them.
Wow. Okay. In regards to the Diddy of it all, like I don't know if we should even ask how this is, because I know you've talked about this before, that you do believe that he will be convicted.
Oh yeah.
But will he be convicted on the major charge of racketeering, which has a sentence of life?
Is it life? Racketeering is life? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What I got recently is I do get he will get 18 to 20 years. So I don't know if that factors in racketeering. But I'll ask specifically about racketeering. Oh, yeah. He's not getting less than 15. Oh. No. I strongly believe this. By the way, something that just came through and you heard it here first, during jury deliberations, it's going to be, if you thought the Karen Reed stuff was everyone's at the edge of their seats and there was a little bit of drama because the jury kept coming back with questions, they didn't know how to fill out the questionnaire. Wait until
Oh, I can imagine, because that process is going to probably start this week in regards to the jury instructions, and we were just talking about that with Kirsten Brown on my channel. Both sides are going to have their stipulations. I can imagine how this is going to play out, because there already is a lot of back and forth between both the prosecution and the defense when it comes to how this case is going and what should be considered, what should not be. All the logistical stuff has been a nightmare for them.
I agree. I forgot what the question was.
Oh, what whether or not, no, well, you sort of answered in regards to will he be convicted, and on like the most serious charge of
racketeering. Yeah. If he's gonna get charged.
My memory is working.
Yes, you are.
Guys, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I see we have a few new subscribers, but we haven't hit the 6,000 subscriber mark. But if you're watching the replay, make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out.
Thank you. Two of Swords. Oh, it's going to be, the racketeering is, that's going to sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? That's going to, what's the word I'm looking for now? The racketeering charge is the one that is kind of going to create some confusion
for the jury.
Some debate among the jury. Yes, that's what I'm seeing. Seven of Swords, King of Wands.
Makes sense. Because a lot of people are saying, just based off, layman's watching this case, they're like, they're not 100% convinced that he, they've proven racketeering. So that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
And I'm not sure, because there is also the charge of the transportation of S workers, and that's a lesser charge. So
true.
And based on what we've already heard in regards to this, I could see that happening.
True. Because we have racketeering, right? Extortion. We've got trafficking. What else do we have? We have
transportation of S workers.
Transportation of S workers and of substances across state lines, right?
I'm going to pull up the actual charges so we have them.
Okay. Because with the racketeering, I see that they are very unsure. The jury at this moment, reading this, they're very unsure about that. It's a bit murky. It's not clear if they are going to charge him or if it is considered racketeering.
Yeah, I have the charges in front of me. Racketeering conspiracy. It's racketeering conspiracy under RICO.
Yeah.
S trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, the freak offs, and transportation for purposes of S work. Okay. Per Reuters, they said that a conviction could carry up to 25 years for racketeering conspiracy, 15 years to life for S trafficking. Counts. They said up to 10 years for transportation of S workers.
Tick, yeah. I know, tick, because I really think that they proved their point, like they did.
But the racketeering is where you're saying which is the larger charge.
It's unclear. It's unclear. It's 50-50. It's 50-50. It's 50-50. I cannot give you that answer right now because I feel that.
That's why I wasn't sure if I was going to ask it, but it doesn't hurt to ask, and then we can revisit. But
I did just pull the sun. Listen, it's 50-50 right now, but I did pull the sun.
What does that mean?
Hold on. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Can I pull an oracle card too?
Please do. Go ahead. Let's see. Let's combine them. Light Mission says racketeering is confusing. Hopefully jury instructions clarify.
It's confusing for even attorneys that have been trying to explain it.
It's hard. They've proven conspiracy. They've proven arson. They've proven the trafficking. I mean, tick.
Racketeering part is a large one, but the S trafficking, 15 years to life.
Wow.
Thank you, Paula.
Wow. Yeah, 15 to life. You guys are
convicted to that. I mean, it goes within your timeline of 18 to 20 years.
Yeah, that's what I got. Like 18. He's not getting any less or any more than that. So between those two, he's getting. What did you pull?
Oh, I wonder what this means.
What did you pull? Hold on, let me clear the mountain. Oh, so according to your oracle cards, he is going to get the racketeering thingy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, the mountain, the mountain is also symbolically in cards like Lenormand or Kipper or even tarot, symbolizes institution, the government, and business, or like a business owner as well. So I believe they will in the end. Yeah, they will charge him for racketeering in the end. It's 50-50, but it feels like after you pulled this one, that's his deck, you guys. If you like these cards, where did you get them from? Did you get them from a shop or Amazon?
I think I ended up finding them in like a Marshalls or TJ Maxx.
Ooh,
Not even in New York. Like
well,
when I was
Cindy says
traveling.
she's got them. Yeah, people are confused by Rico because they think of the mafia, or when they think of Rico, but Rico could be anything as long as it like fits those like certain things of Rico. Yeah.
I will say this, and this is not just a shameless plug. I have to say my collaboration with Kirsten has been very informative, and we talked about it in part 1 of my conversation with her. And when she breaks it down, it's sort of like, oh, so they've technically proven it, Rico. So again, it's going to be based on the jury instructions too. So
that's true.
And this is partly why you're probably getting the response that you're getting from the cards, is because the judge has not confirmed the jury instructions just yet. Both sides. So that will also be a stipulation that will affect how they come up to a decision.
Yeah.
And their understanding.
Very good point. Brenda says, it has been said by someone in the main courtroom that a reporter attempted to sneak in a phone that was turned on into the courtroom, not overflow, and was caught by one of the guards. What? When did this happen?
I personally have not seen that.
Me neither. That's been said by someone in the courtroom that a reporter did that? Okay.
Only certain people are allowed. I believe that only attorneys are allowed to bring in and be able to tweet what's happening in the courtroom, like inner city press and things like that. So very strict on who's allowed to bring in devices. But everyone else, including journalists, have to turn over their devices, all of their technical devices, to the court before going in.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So you're always going to have an unruly person, not following the rules.
Yeah, there was a lady in the court that caused a stir a couple of weeks ago.
I know, she was pro Diddy, and she just, oh Lord, you always get
that. Chill. Okay, lady. I think we should move on. I think that's a great way to kind of seal this up in regards to the diddler, because we could talk a lot about the diddler, but
we'll do it again towards the end. I believe once they start deliberating, that we can do like a little small mini sort of reading. But
it's going to be an interesting deliberation for the jury. I'm going to put this up because Light Mission asked for the.
Oh,
it's called the Earthcraft Oracle, and you can find it on Amazon.
Let me neutralize my deck real quick.
It comes with a book. It comes with a whole book too, guys, that explains the card, like their interpretation. It tells you a little bit about like resolutions and things like that. I've gone live on TikTok and I've pulled cards for people before from this.
Ooh, look at you.
I'm proud of you. Training.
I'm proud of you. I feel like have you seen Fantasia by Disney?
No. It's funny. I've never watched that movie.
Really, I love it. It's got classical music. It's Mickey Mouse being like the wizard's apprentice, and then he ends up becoming the apprentice. He goes through. Anyways, this is how I feel like we're in our own Fantasia. Here we are. You're being the apprentice who's learning how to read the cards, and then you're going to take over, and then I'm going to cover all the pop culture stuff, and you're going to be doing the readings.
Magic? No. After this pop culture stuff, I'll be retiring on somebody's beach with my billionaire.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
I'm burning some Palo Santo, y'all.
Okay. Me too. I'm just neutralizing my deck before we move on to Tyler Perry because I don't want to bring in that diddler energy. Diddler, diddler, diddler. There you go. I'm just like a naughty little child.
I got crystals in my pocket that when I walk, I'm jingling.
He was actually before we came on. He got up and I could hear his crystals jiggling, going click, 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 click.
I got a bunch of crystals in my pocket. I'm not playing with these people.
That's so true. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next one. We're not even done with the Diddler trial, and we've got this going on. Tyler Perry.
And again, another shameless plug. I read the entire 46-page lawsuit on my YouTube and my podcast. And I think I'm glad I did because it does give you a different perspective versus when you see the news report on the lawsuit. Because by the end of it, I can't say that I 100% say that the lawsuit has a lot of weight, but we have to also keep in mind, especially if you look at this from an HR perspective or employment law perspective, your employer, this man of power, should not be texting this way to someone that's a subordinate. So, and Derek Dixon has now, at one particular point, his Instagram was up and running and he turned off his comments. Now his Instagram is completely gone.
I know. And after we, like, literally today, I started watching your video when you told me last night about you reading the whole 40 pages. I started watching. I'm not done yet because it was a break.
2 hours.
I know, 2 hours and 20 minutes or something along.
Oh, sorry.
My God, I was like, oh wow. But kudos. Not easy to read 40 pages of the transcript.
No. But I'm glad that I did because it gave me a different perspective on the case. But for those that aren't familiar with the case, Derek Dixon was I don't know what his role was at this event company, but that's how Tyler discovered him. He saw him at the company that was doing an event for Tyler. Derek Dixon worked for. And Tyler saw him at this event and sort of like picked him out of the crowd and said, "Oh, do you want to be an actor?" I'm paraphrasing, but basically that's how it happened. That's how they met. Obviously, allegedly, Tyler may have been attracted to him and offered him a job. He ended up getting this role on Ruthless, a very small role, and then he would land a role on The Oval. He was on multiple episodes of The Oval. He filed an EEOC complaint after he says that Tyler Perry SA'd him multiple times, pulled his underwear down, fondled his butt, made a lot of suggestive, inappropriate text messages to him in the lawsuit. There are multiple text messages that were highly inappropriate for your employer to be sending to you. You know, talking about your sexual desires or the fact that you're, you want something and you need to work on emphasizing your no is not strong enough. He alleges that spending the night over at Tyler Perry's home because he had drank too much. Tyler Perry snuck into the room and went into bed with him and touched his thigh. There are all kinds of things that are in this lawsuit. I'm just paraphrasing that. Again, $260 million. I don't know if it's worth that. I mean, what do you put? You have to put a number on it. I don't think he's going to get $260 million, but he definitely has a case in regards to your employer being inappropriate. He also cites Christian Keys, who came out back in 2023 that a Black billionaire had been harassing him for years, that he had, anytime he had a meeting with this Black billionaire, he never put a name on it. Anytime he had a meeting, he had the different recording devices. He specifically was saying these things on the live. Actually, we should start with Christian because this is where it really begins. And Christian's name is in the lawsuit. He brings up Christian Keys in the lawsuit. So I'm going to make this about me because I have a Leo moon. Why did Christian Keys block me?
You remembered to ask that question.
Why did he block me? Because I just reported on the story. But again, I never understand when people block me because it's not like I'm in your comment section. It's not like I'm harassing you. I'm reporting, and honestly, anything that I reported on Christian Keys has not been derogatory. It's just talking about what my last report was. He's mentioned in the lawsuit, and I don't know. He could have blocked me from 2023, and I didn't know. I don't follow Christian Keys like that. I'm not interested.
And why would anyone block you? You're not gossipy. You're not one of those gossipy content creators or channels. You report. You literally just report.
Zolfa says, maybe it was an accidental block. Sure, we'll go.
Well, let's have a look as well. By the way, Zolfa, it's 11:11 over here, because we've been talking a lot about seeing since just before the Air India crash. I've been seeing 11:11 all over. Didn't I send you screenshots yesterday or the day before? And it's 11:11, or now it's 11:12, but it was 11:11, and I looked at the chat and I saw Zolfa, Light Mission, and Zolfa. There's 11:11 next to your names. Just saying. Okay, so let's see. Why did Christian Keys block Kemp?
Making it about me, like a true Leo moon.
Yeah, but I mean, you're curious. You want to know.
You never know. There could be some significance behind it.
True, or it could be just something
petty.
Like Linda. Not gonna let it go.
This is Anita Baker. Yeah, Anita Baker blocked me. Portia blocked me, unblocked me, then blocked me again.
Portia, make up your mind. Like,
today's Portia's birthday. Happy birthday, Portia.
Happy birthday, Portia.
Happy Cancer season.
True. Oh, it's Cancer season already. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me focus on Christian Keys and you. 1 sec. Why did he block Empire? I'm getting he blocked a lot of people, not just you. Oh, this was a very spontaneous thing. A very spontaneous thing. Queen of Cups. He was in his feels. I don't know. He was star. Okay. This is what I thought. So you weren't the only one. He actually blocked other content creators and other people, public figures, at a time when he was just in a very vulnerable emotional state. And you guys, where did Empire go?
I froze.
That was so freaking weird. You freaked me out. You freaked me out because I saw you like looking like at the your screen, and then suddenly, where's Empire? I'm like, oh, what happened? Did the aliens just abduct Empire on a live?
Lord. That was hilarious.
That was so weird.
Diddy.
I know you. Anyways, and he did it with a lot of other people. You weren't like, it wasn't personal towards you.
Yeah.
It was, well, at least at the time when this happened, he was taking a lot of things personally. And this was to safeguard and protect his feelings and him. And I want to tell you, this happened 3 years ago or 3 months ago. I'm getting a 3.
It probably was 3 years ago when
3 years ago
it first happened, and I didn't even notice it until I went to go to his profile. See, I don't like you can tell I wasn't
okay. No, you're not the only one. He did at that time during that period. He did it to a lot of people. He didn't want, I guess, to hear what you guys have to say about him.
I never said anything bad that I recall.
No, but maybe he just didn't want to risk it. I don't know.
Okay, before we dig into the since we're talking about Christian Keys, a lot of people speculate that he got some. First of all, people speculate that he was talking about Tyler Perry. Was he talking about Tyler Perry? And did he receive a payoff?
Ooh. So I'm gonna leave it more open-ended so I can get more information. So why did he drop the lawsuit, Christian?
No, there was no lawsuit. There was no lawsuit.
Oh, there was no lawsuit. Sorry. Why did
he
I
was
think
threatening? He was saying.
Oh, he was threatening. He was just
okay. He went on Instagram Live and spilled all this information. There was no lawsuit. He never said the name of the person.
Got it. Sorry. For some reason in my mind, I thought there was a lawsuit and then they settled.
Because people are litigious. He probably was threatening one that it never came to fruition. I personally think, the cards maybe will confirm or deny that the reason why he came to social media that night was so that it was like his warning to that person. Like, I'm
Got
gonna
it.
spill all the tea.
So was Christian Keys talking about Tyler Perry? And what was the motivation behind this? The Hierophant, Eight of Cups will make sense of that. The Tower, Four of Cups. In my opinion, for entertainment purposes only, yes, it was about Tyler Perry. And let me explain. Let me explain. I have the Hierophant. The Hierophant comes up as a lot. Okay, listen, and the typical meaning of this card means the government, someone in power, someone, the state. Okay, it could be the church. It could be a church leader or state leader, but it also someone of who has power, someone with a lot of power, which is Tyler Perry. Whether we like it or not, it is Tyler Perry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have the Eight of Cups here. This is carrying a big load, emotional load, a lot of stuff that he is carrying inside, including guilt. And the Tower, a disaster. It was a disaster, an absolute disaster. And Four of Cups being completely isolated and not knowing who to talk to, like keeping it all inside because he didn't know if people would believe him or if he should come out, or very unsure. So my cards are confirming that the rumors are true.
That it was Tyler Perry, allegedly.
It was Tyler Perry that he was talking about. Yes.
To
be honest, Christian Keys did it did him a number. He's not exaggerating.
Yeah. I don't think any of us didn't believe him. We just didn't know who he was referring to. And I remember one of his responses to one of the comments, he says, if he said anything, it would break your heart. If you guys knew who it was, it would break your hearts. And that for me was sort of like the cherry on top. I was like, oh, it has to be Tyler Perry, allegedly.
Yeah, he's traumatized by this. I'm very, very hurt, I've got to say. I feel Christian Keys, and I feel him. I'm connected to his energy. He's done a lot of therapy for this. Listen, it seems that the Christian Keys case is a lot worse than the Derek Dixon case.
Whoa.
What happened between them?
Someone in the chat says Christian Keys has worked with Tyler Perry since like stage plays. So this goes back years. And he talked about that in his video. This went back years. He even has a show, All the Queen's Men, that's produced by Tyler Perry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. From what we're seeing from these breadcrumbs that we're already seeing with Tyler Perry, I have a feeling, and I'm sure you all have this feeling, that this is going to be a lot. This is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. And especially because I've read, when I did this reading, I did a members live and I read around this case. And I posted a little excerpt of it on the main channel. But I did see other people coming forward
against Tyler.
Yes.
The other thing, I think what you're probably sensing with Christian Keys that I almost forgot is that he experienced abuse as a young person too.
Oh, he did. I didn't know that. Maybe that's also what I'm.
Again, I've covered a lot of these stories, but from what I recall, I know I think he's talked about experiencing abuse early in his life. So that also was sort of like this other layer of things. And he talked about years of dealing with this abuse with this particular powerful Black billionaire.
I feel sad, Kemp. I really feel like I want to cry. I'm ready to shed tears. Because I'm connected to Christian Keys' energy. I feel sad. Like he has a lot of sadness inside of him. The abuse when he was younger makes sense. And then, with all of this happening with Tyler Perry, it could have triggered a lot of darkness,
Yeah,
a lot of darkness, and this power dynamics and this power play, all of it.
So was that what it was when he went on live and spilled all of this?
And I believe this is also why he blocked you and other people, because he doesn't want to face, he wants to come out and let the public know. It's also a release for him, just saying the truth and uncovering the truth. But on the other hand, he doesn't want to hear about it, or he doesn't want to
I mean,
hear.
I get that.
Yeah, I get that too. I would be the same, to be honest. I wouldn't want.
I,
You,
I,
you,
ha-
sorry,
I
go ahead.
have something intuitive that I want to ask, because I saw the whole Cassie situation where Cassie sued and she got a settlement. I don't know if Christian got a settlement. We can ask the cards, but I'm wondering if you said that there are going to be more allegations.
Yeah.
I wonder if this will become actually criminal.
Oh.
Because even if there was a settlement, you saw with Cassie, even if there was a settlement, if something criminal happened, Christian could be called.
It's funny you say that, because on that members live, what I did say is that this is it reminds me it's very similar to Diddler. It's different, like the allegations are different, but very different in the sense that I believe this civil lawsuit is going to end up becoming a criminal lawsuit.
Because a lot of people are also asking why Derek Dixon didn't file like criminal charges, because he's accusing him of SA as well.
Well, Derek Dixon is a victim in this, but he is also, and I've said this and I'll come out and say it again, he is also after the money. It's not, he's not a cloud chaser. He's not doing it he's not lying and making this up for the money.
Out of nowhere. He actually experiences, but he's like, okay, well, this happened to me, so I'm going to sue you for it and I'm going to get money.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't want you behind bars. Like, I want you behind bars, but I'm, I need my cake.
This is not to come at people that do not file charges at all. But I just say this because I remember watching, what is it, Worst Ex Ever on Netflix. When people don't bring charges, and I get why people don't bring charges for a variety of different reasons, especially when you're going up against someone so powerful, it then becomes, then the next person's a victim. And sometimes that next person may not end up alive because it wasn't stopped.
Yeah. Which is, you guys, it's a very fine line when it comes to these types of crimes and these types of power dynamics. Again, very, very much so. As you guys know, I've worked in the music industry. I was at Sony when I was in my 20s. I had the CEO of Sony come on to me behind closed doors. He's like, come into my office, close the door, lock the door. He told his secretary, assistant, don't, hold my calls for an hour. And he was literally just coming on to me and he's saying, I know you work hard. I know you want, you've been asking, because I was asking for a promotion because I was earning peanuts. Like it wasn't a lot. I was working like 11 hours a day, plus the events that we did, plus all the concerts and all the stuff that we had to do for the artists. So, and he's like, I know, yes, you deserve a raise and you deserve a promotion and what's this, but you know what? There's something missing about your job. And I'm like, what's missing? I'm working hard. Like literally, I was working so hard. I was so tired in the morning. I couldn't even wear makeup to get to the office, to get to work. And I would wear my makeup in the bathroom at Sony because we slept at 5 a.m. because we were out at events, trying to get,
So that's where Diddy learned it.
That's you schmooze a lot of. Yeah, that's how the industry works. You schmooze the journalists, you schmooze the, there's a lot of like PR happening, and you've always got to be to all these events. And I tell you, this was him. And then, you know what? And he said, you're a beautiful young woman, and there's so many other women who would like to be in your position. They're all lining up, just
name. Who is this executive? Sorry, no.
I can't really, because unfortunately he follows me on social media. You can do your research, you guys, if you want, but not on FemmeTarot, but he follows my social media on my personal account. So I have to be careful. But one day I'm going to spill the beans, and I have beans to spill. I'm just waiting until the trial is over with the diddler and he's behind bars. And I'm going to share a story that I shared years ago on my channel about the diddler and his mom. I've met his mom on a yacht because Kemp knows this, but my family, me and my stepbrother, we owned a yacht company, which we did the insurance, the management, and the chartering of yachts, and we managed yachts for these big big clients. And anyways, to cut a long story short and get back to Tyler Perry, we did charter one of our yachts one summer. I think it was for a week from Mykonos. He picked up the yacht at Mykonos. Diddy, the diddler and his mom and various what do they call them in the trial? Entertainers. And I have a lot to share about that. It was a disaster charter. We wanted to kick the diddler out of the boat. The owner was so angry because he damaged the yacht because of the partying. And I realized before when all the freak off stuff came out in public, I realized that's what he was doing on the yacht.
So that was the source of the damage.
The damage, because the damages, and I have all the receipts. I can ask my brother, because he owns the company. I'm out of the company and whatnot, but he owns the company. He lives in Miami now. I can ask him to send me the receipts. How much the damage cost on the yacht, because they burned a table, they destroyed a big leather couch, they destroyed baccarat crystal glass. Like, it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was somewhere between 80,000 euro and 90,000 euro. Yeah.
Wow.
So one day I will share the deets about that. He loves his fries. I can share this with the world.
Fries? Me too.
What?
You said he loves his fries?
Yes, he loves his French fries. We all love our fries, but not at 3:00 in the morning. He would wake up the chef on the yacht at 3 a.m. because he was hungry after the freak offs. He would take a break. Now it all makes sense to me. 3:00 in the morning, he would ask for fries. Fries. He always said that he wanted fries, always like, regardless what was on the menu, he wanted fries.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, that was a sidebar.
And he loves applesauce, apparently, too.
He loves, I don't know. I have to go back. You know what? I have to go back and look at his preference sheet, because we used to send a preference sheet to the charterers.
We watched Below Deck.
Oh yeah, of course. So there you go. So I'll have to go back to his preference sheet and see what he put down there.
Okay.
Just saying. And he was carrying cash with him, and now I know why. Because usually we saw the only clients, the only charters that would bring bucket full of cash were the Saudis. Everyone else, they had some cash, to tip and stuff, but they would pay with credit cards or bank transfers. But the Saudis pay everything in cash, and they will not give a woman. I've got to say this, okay? I had an issue with the Saudis because the Saudis would not do contract negotiations directly with me. Would be with my brother.
Oh.
Yes. I would do all the work, but he was like the front man with the Saudis. And the diddler came in with cash. He paid everything in cash. I remember it all is coming back to me.
I wonder the IRS is going to come for the diddler. Just saying that during the testimony there was a lot of cash, going every which way, and I'm like, was all that counted for? Has he paid all his taxes? Well, they did have a CFO on there, and he said, he was very good about doing that, and so.
Oh, really?
But again, would the CFO say otherwise? Because that would make him.
Exactly. Because that would make him liable, right? If he did illegal stuff and he didn't declare things and didn't pay the taxes so I'm just saying, don't believe everything.
No.
Let's see. Okay, let's go back to Tyler Perry. What was
did Christian Keys get a settlement? Look at me remembering.
I know, because it's getting late over here and I'm losing. Wait, is he going to get a settlement?
No. Did Christian Keys get?
Did Christian Keys get a settlement? Sorry,
we haven't even got to Derek Dixon yet.
That's true.
We will though.
I'm ahead of myself. Hold on. Did Christian Keys get a settlement? Yes. I heard it. I'm just pulling the cards to show you guys.
Mm.
10 of Pentacles. Oh, yes, he did.
Whoa.
10 is completion, is something ends, something comes together. Pentacles is coins. I'm just the devil. NDA. Hush, hush. Yes, yes. Drop my cards. Yes.
Oh, not drop the mic. Oh.
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There was, but he's not going to talk about it because they have an NDA.
You signed an NDA.
He signed an NDA, but yes, he wanted this Four of Cups. He wanted to make this go away as fast as possible and as possible. So yes, he did get a settlement for sure.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, so you already said that based off of this new lawsuit from Derek Dixon, this $260 million lawsuit, that you believe that more men are going to come forward?
We're all presuming it's men.
I mean, because I think it's important to note that Tyler Perry has never come out. He did have a short-lived relationship with a woman that he ended up having a child with.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see from the lawsuit, the text messages that were shared, again, those have not been confirmed by anyone in forensics that they're actually from Tyler Perry. But Tyler Perry did release a statement via his attorney claiming that Derek Dixon tried to get close to him in order to create this scam.
Mm-hmm.
What was I know you said this a little bit, but what was the intention behind this lawsuit from Derek Dixon? Because I will note, based off the lawsuit, he did file a complaint with the EEOC that handles employment back in June of 2024, so a year ago. He filed a complaint. Tyler Perry Studios were definitely informed of a complaint like that. Why now is he filing this lawsuit?
That's a very good question. Very good question. And I wonder why people are not asking that. What? Because everyone's like, what's the motive? But why aren't people asking why now? What's the time? Why? The timing is suspicious.
No.
Well, it's not suspicious, but there's something about the timing.
Convenient.
Let's see. Hold on. Why now? Something is up with Tyler Perry. Okay. 7. That's what I thought. Okay. I'll share it. Let me just pull 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has been talking to others and he knows that there are others because there are whispers. And
Derek Dixon has been talking to other victims.
Yes. I believe Derek Dixon has spoken to someone. My guts are showing me one person, and it is male. One person that spoke to Derek and maybe told him or shared a little bit about his experience with Tyler Perry. Derek, there's a reason. You know what? There's a reason why he's asking 260 million.
Okay, please don't, because a lot of people are saying, like, where did you come up with this number?
I know. I was wondering that, but it just came to me. It just literally just came to me with this reading. The reason why he's asking so much is because there are other people. Derek knows it. He wants to open the path or pave the path for the others, to the point where I keep hearing, and last time I did the reading, I keep hearing like almost like a class action suit, where like a lot of people come together and they go against against an entity or a person. This is why it's happening now. And this is why he's asking for 260 million is a lot of money. Okay. We're not talking about 55. We're talking about 260. It's because he knows he has a case, because there are others that he has talked to, and he wants to make others feel confident in going against Tyler Perry. And that's why others are going to come out as soon as maybe even next week or in a couple of weeks, like soon.
Whoa.
Yes. They've been talking. They've been talking. They've been talking. Six of Wands. They're going to come out loud and proud and say, guess what? Tyler Perry is not the Mr. Squeaky clean, nice guy, straight guy, whatever guy. Okay. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet, and those are going to come out. Nine of Swords. He's, you know what? It's shocking. It's a little bit shocking for anyone following, let's say, Tyler Perry's career. But why I'm saying shocking, because I believe that some of the stuff that he said and done to some of these people are horrendous.
And if you read the lawsuit,
I haven't.
No, if you read the lawsuit, some of the things, again, even regardless, even if this was a friend, the essays that he's listed should not have happened. But even some of the text messages that he was sending to a subordinate, your employee, were inappropriate, highly inappropriate. But if what you're saying about Christian Keys, and now another person's coming out, you had a pattern of behavior. And even in Derek's lawsuit, he never acquiesced. Based off the lawsuit, I'll say that. Based off the lawsuit, he never acquiesced to these multiple attempts where clearly Derek is painting a picture. I'm not interested in you. He kept on saying, oh, I'm not very sexual, that kind of thing. But Tyler kept going. You are a billionaire. Why are you going after someone that doesn't want you?
That's true.
You can have anyone.
But it's the same with the dealer, right? I mean, it's the same with all these other people, all these people that we hear about throughout the years. It's a matter of power. These people, because they've gained so much money and power, notoriety through their work and through their bank accounts, they lose touch. They lose touch with reality, and then they believe that they can get away with behaviors that are not normal and that they are disturbing and disgusting. And it is a power play. It is, I have the power. It is literally, it's thirst for power. All these elites out there. Why do we talk about the elites, and why are we talking about the downfall of elites? Because everything that they do is for power. They want more and more power. They want to disempower us in order for them to gain power. And this is what Tyler Perry is doing with all these men, and Christian Keys and Derek Dixon and the other men that are going to come forward, because it is men. It is men. I'm sorry, because I keep asking my guys, are there any women? No.
It should also be noted, when we were talking about Christian Keys and the abuse that he experienced, Tyler Perry also has talked about the abuse that he experienced. It's talked about in the lawsuit as well, in regards to, you went from being the victim to now being a predator.
Yeah. Or a predator. Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised, because we see these with like unalivers and serial unalivers. Usually these are people that have been the brunt of abuse or SA or something, and then they end up doing that to others or children or minors or whatever. So this is just unhealed trauma, and there's something within you that you become, in my opinion, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I believe that if you don't heal from trauma or these types of situations, I believe you go into a very, very dark place inside of you, and it's almost like it's vengeful. You just want to do the same to others because you want to take that power back. What they did to you, you want to do to the others because you feel that.
Didn't I say that about Diddy?
Yes.
And his need for control.
Yeah.
Wow. See how it's all connected? The other thing in regards to the situation with Tyler Perry, especially because in the community, because one thing you'll see in the comment section, oh, I got a DM. I'll spill the tea here. I got a DM by a random person. It was in the other part of Instagram, because I don't follow them and they don't follow me. And I saw it, and they were like, Kempire, I really love your work, but this Tyler Perry stuff is beneath you. You shouldn't do it. And in my intuitive nature, I was like, first of all, I report on everyone. So how is this beneath me? But then I thought to myself, like, is this a strategic move from someone else in regards to silence voices that are going to be reporting on this story? And it made me wonder because I've always sort of looked at, and I don't want to be that person in regards to when someone does something philanthropic or is very giving to people to automatically think, what's your intention behind this? But now when you look at, if you read the lawsuit and you look at some of his behavior over the years and him receiving the Ultimate Icon Award at the BET Awards, where he says, I'm probably the only person that has made how many Black billionaires? I have it here somewhere. Hold on. I have it here in regards to what he said. He said in a quote, oh, I have made more Black billionaires, hear me when I say this, than any studio in the city combined because I'm making footprints. His speech came across to me intuitively as not as authentic or genuine, and not true. You're the only Black billionaire. You haven't made other Black billionaires. So for me, the question to the cards would be like, are his giving back and constantly, I feel like it's almost like manipulating the community, because there are a lot of people like they're just trying to take down another Black billionaire, Black man. And I wonder what is his true intention behind the philanthropy that he's done.
Ego. I'm getting ego. A lot of them do. A lot of these billionaires, millionaires, do philanthropy. It's tax evasion as well.
Not tax evasion.
Well, it is. Six of Pentacles. Yes, Six of Pentacles. It is the charitable card. It is the card where you're, charitable. You're doing charity, you're giving charity, or you're receiving charity. Mm-hmm. Six of Cups. 2 6s, by the way. So
God.
And the Magician. Oh,
not Magician.
Smoke and mirrors, honey. Smoke and mirrors. That wasn't you're right. Your intuition was right. Not authentic at all.
I'm gonna pull my cards now.
Yeah, you pull your cards. Yeah, go for it.
And guys, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're watching the replay of this, please do the same and share your thoughts in the comment section.
I was gonna say that he does. Sorry, he does. What did you get?
I want to know what you think this card means. The offering.
The offerings. The offerings, similar to the Six of Pentacles here. What do I see? Well, okay. Forget what it says. I'm looking at the card. She's holding a bowl of water and the water spilling out. So the offering is not going anywhere. It's spilling out. He's not offering anything, in my opinion. He's not offering anything because it's not offered to nature, to earth, to someone else. It's just spilling on the ground.
Something told me to pull another card.
Okay, what's that? Forest Tears.
And it's 11.
Hiding behind the trees. And it's an 11. There you go, another 11. She's hiding behind the trees, forest tears. He's hiding behind... This is it's BS. He's hiding behind the facade and an image that he wants to put out, but he's also trapped. This is intuitively what I'm seeing from your card. This is what's coming through. He's trapped in this fake, sort of inauthentic life that he's built around himself, and this image that he's put out. He's trapped. He's sincerely, truly unhappy, and I believe that's why.
If it's true about Derek Dixon's allegations, he's trapped within not wanting to come out and be himself.
Right.
Bisexual, pansexual, gay. Right. He's clearly hiding behind that. And I do believe in a lot of ways why this whole narrative, like, oh, he pays, Black actors more than anyone else. I think he is using that as a power move.
Yeah, as leverage.
Wow.
Yeah, 100% he is. It seems like, listen, in one hand, I feel a little bit, tiny little bit sorry for him, because it's an awful place to be in, being so oppressed by your own belief system, and maybe religion. Maybe religion is also a big part of it, and trapped in a life and in a image that it's not you. and that you have to take extreme measures to. I believe that all of these schmexual advances that he does is really a cry for help. Like he's like, it is a cry for help. I'm not excusing him whatsoever, but I'm just saying that this man needs a lot of therapy, and he needs to finally just get rid of these shackles, these religious shackles that he's got on, because he's turning into the devil. He wasn't the devil. I don't believe he's evil like the diddler, but I believe that he does evil things to people.
Yeah. I mean,
he has the shackles.
Based off the lawsuit, he talked about, and it's so interesting, and I talked about this when I read the lawsuit, and he talked about the type of relationship that he wanted to have with Derek Dixon, and it wasn't like a actual relationship, which for me was sort of like, why wouldn't, if you're gay, why wouldn't you want to have a full-on relationship? But in his head, I guess the way he's rationalized it, remember, he's a particular man of a particular age, and he already has not come out of the closet. I think the relationship he wanted with Derek Dixon was Derek Dixon is his side piece, where he could just have physical things with him, but outwardly he wouldn't, but he would take care of Derek. So Derek would just sort of be his S worker, basically. So, and I think in his mind, that's all he could do. He wouldn't want like a full-on relationship with.
No, I agree with you. I don't think so. But you know what just came to me while you were talking, Cam? I was just wondering, because is this power play that he's pulling, is it with white men?
Well,
just white men?
Well, technically, I don't think so. I think it's with any good-looking man. I think it just happens to be Derek Dixon's wife. But remember, Christian Keys, I believe, is black. I don't know if he's mixed with anything else.
He looks mixed, though. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
You just never know.
Yeah.
So I think it's just any good-looking guy. I don't know if he necessarily has a particular type. I guess we will see if and when more victims come out. But I have another question in regards to something that came out.
Okay.
There was another picture that came out, and now there's rumor, and there's no fact to this. I didn't want to read too much into this, but then there was this lawsuit because literally there's this paparazzi photo with Ryan Tanaka and Tyler on a yacht, and now people are speculating that there was more to it, because even just the picture looked a little suspicious. It's like Tyler looking at the camera like, how'd you guys find me here? And I just thought they could be having a meeting. Brian Tanaka was dating Mariah Carey for years. I don't know if I necessarily believe that relationship. What is going on between Brian Tanaka and Tyler Perry?
Hold on. I'm not suspicious of it, to be honest. My feeling is not the world ace of, but yeah, I believe it's more, I don't feel it is romantic or schmexual in any way. I feel this was more, I don't know if they work together, if they have some collab, or, they're working on some kind of project together. This is what I feel, because I also get the Three of Pentacles, which is working together for a purpose. So no, I don't. And even when I picked up the cards and connected, it didn't feel like it was romantic or of that nature, if you will. It feels it's more of a business friendship thing going on. For now, yeah.
Because Tyler doesn't know his limits. Allegedly.
I think we should do one more question and then kind of like wrap it, because it's almost midnight over here and I've got to get up tomorrow morning at 6. Sorry, you guys. I love you. I could spend the whole day with you, or the night, or whatever it is, wherever you are. But
I don't have anything else in regards to this. Oh, I mean, I guess we could just pull out, what is Tyler feeling, thinking, or going to do when it comes to this lawsuit? He's already come out with a statement saying that it's a scam.
Everyone's asking. I can see your Oprah questions, and as I said, and maybe Kemp, would you do that with me, or?
Look,
I know. That's why I'm asking. The way
my friend Oprah. What do you mean? I'm playing. Oh, Oprah. Oh.
I know. Or would you be ready to do that or no? I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm not.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. Okay. Either way, it's either going to be on my own or with Kemp. I'm going to do a deep dive on Oprah. We'll see.
Like mission.
What did she say? Doing the Lord's work. Okay, Al's like almost 3 hours doing the Lord's work today.
Whew.
Yes,
And
we
I'm
love
like,
doing these. I love
me-
doing these with Kemp. Of
me
course,
too.
you know that. Because we go deep. It always helps when I have someone, especially Kemp, because who asks the right questions, because I can focus completely on what I'm getting and not on the questions. The chat saying, I love you, chat, and I love that you're participating. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it helps if we have someone who asks.
Rena says, Kemp, we know you love O. Please understand, I don't know Oprah. If there's a lawsuit that comes out with Oprah, I will be reporting on it. I will be talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Point blank.
Oh
period.
yeah, you're fair. You're fair. No matter what, you're fair.
I like Oprah, but I don't love her that much. I think I'm sure she would expect me to because half the stuff that I report on when it comes to like her shows and things like that, I still tell my truth.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, Camp is fair. Like if he sees something that despite if it goes against his, let's say, feelings or emotions or beliefs, he will still report it as,
Especially
fairly
'cause I also didn't love that whole, Gail's an astronaut and she was there and
true.
why is Gail doing that? And I'm like, so I've been looking at Oprah a lot with the side eye lately.
It's true. I can attest to that because we talk and it's true. Like he's
I'm like, what is happening here?
opening up a little bit. He's
Leave Oprah alone. You remember the Britney Spears guy? Leave Oprah alone.
Do you remember that?
Oh.
Leave Britney
I
alone.
don't like anyone that much.
All right. What was the question again? Sorry. You have to
What is Tyler feeling about this
Ah.
lawsuit? And what is he going to do? He's already called it a scam. You think he's going to settle it? Has he already started to settle it?
he'll try.
I'm sure.
He'll try. If he hasn't tried already.
Hmm.
Let's see. What is
Because he
Tyler?
knew this was coming. He filed a complaint with the EEOC a year ago.
Interesting. Hold on. How's Tyler seeing this? What is he gonna do about this? He's not happy. He's not. With Christian Keys, he was more arrogant about it. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna give him this hush money. I'm gonna make him sign an NDA. But now it feels like he's a little bit shaky. He's like, uh-oh. I think he's starting to see that he's not going to get away with this any longer. Ace of Cups. Tyler Perry, he wanted to use him as a toy boy or as a blow-up doll, I guess, Derek Dixon. But he also had somewhat feelings about him where he liked him.
Mm-hmm.
What he's going to do. Oh, listen, settlement, it's not happening. They're going to trial. I said this last week. I see it. I get the same cards. But let me tell you what he's going to do. He's going to take a page out of Blake Lively's book, Tyler Perry. He's going to AstroTurf and he's going to use the internet and his fan club because he has
he does
fans that are really
I'm telling you, they're reaching out to me saying, this is below you. Excuse me? Block.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. So he's going to use his fan club and his power and his PR teams and everything to
silence him.
To make Derek look cuckoo. To make him look like he's a clout chaser, all of it. That is going to be his MO until he realizes it's not going to work.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. It backfired on Blake.
Yeah.
It's going to backfire. 7 of Swords. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. He's going to use the bot farms. He's going to use everything in his power to clear his name and make this go away publicly.
Wow. But
yes,
you're saying it's not going to work. It's more people going to come out. Well, maybe we'll actually going to work, and we'll end on that.
Yep. So he's gonna 9 of Pentacles. Listen, he's got the money, he's got the power. Page of Cups, but there's nothing he can do, especially when the others come forward. That's when he realized that he is in deep hot water. Now he thinks he can still control the narrative, but he can't. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. No, he didn't want to settle because I don't know why he didn't settle, because he settled with Christian Keys, maybe because of the NDA. But in this case, he felt that if he could, we're talking about a huge amount of money, 260 mil. And I believe that he didn't settle because what screams guilt louder than settling?
Yeah.
So
and you have to keep in mind, when Christian Keys came out, Christian said that he had video and audio recordings. And that's, again, I felt like when he went live and he was saying these things, he was saying that's particularly probably because he wanted to let Tyler know, I could release this. He said he even involved the police and he's ready to give this information to the police. So maybe, and again, we don't know because this could come out in trial. Derek Dixon could have more, recordings or information and things like that. Maybe that's part of why he's not willing to settle, because he doesn't realize what Derek might have. And I don't know if Derek has more beyond the text messages.
And he doesn't know why Derek is doing it now. Maybe because Derek has an ace up his sleeve, which is the other people.
That he knows. Because people talk. No matter how you think you silence people and you have control over people, that doesn't stop them from like, well, yeah, he's a little inappropriate. He's done it to me.
So, Tyler, you're in hot water, it seems. And it will be interesting to see how Meghan Markle, forget about Oprah right now. Okay. Meghan Markle, he is the godfather, allegedly, of Lily.
How did that? Because that crossed my mind too, and I was like, did he just attach himself to the Meghan Markle train because that's how big can you get beyond the royal family?
I guess he wanted. I don't know why he attached himself.
He wanted to be the Captain Save-A-Ho. To me, that's the way it came across, and of course, people were like eating it up.
I know. I don't.
At my, one of my Montecito homes.
I don't know why he was. That's a good question. I don't know why he attached him, but we know why Meghan attached with him, because he is a Black entrepreneur mogul.
Money.
And the money and the access to Oprah. Because she got the interview afterwards, didn't she? And then there's Gayle King, who also interviewed Meghan.
Oh no, didn't Oprah attend their wedding?
Oprah did attend their wedding, yes. Oprah did, and Gayle.
Y'all don't leave Oprah alone.
But did Tyler attend their wedding? That's a good question.
I don't remember seeing Tyler there. I can't remember, but you guys can correct us. But I remember Oprah was there.
I remember that, and I remember what she was wearing. I remember Oprah, but I don't know. Tyler, I remember George Clooney was there. Where's George Clooney now, Megan? Do you go for brunches with George in the mall? Anyways, I'm not going to start with Megan. Well, that's a different story, different reading, a different narcissist altogether.
Leave Megan alone.
No. Oh, Lord. All right. That's it for you guys. 3 hours. We're 8 minutes shy of really having a 3-hour live today. Where did the time go? But it was amazing. And thank you, Kempire, for joining and asking amazing questions. I think we've gotten a lot of clarity around what's happening with all these people that we read today.
Yep.
Especially Wendy. I really hope Wendy, find some peace. She needs some peace.
Yeah. Finally.
And I hope the other two disgusting evil men get their karma. And I hope Karen Reed pays it back and also helps eradicate all this corruption that's been going on, not just in Boston, not just in Massachusetts, everywhere. It's everywhere, worldwide, unfortunately.
And congratulations to our future mayor, Mamdani.
We have a mayor here in the Femme Village, and it's Data. We voted our own mayor here. We have a
Data, my data.
your data, my data, our data.
I've known Data since I had Kempire Radio when I interviewed Oprah. He was there that night.
All right, well, he's my mayor now.
Oh well, he's the prime minister over. He's gonna see this later. So like, what?
I know. He's gonna be like, what?
You're fighting over me? You know, the Pisces gonna get all his feelings.
Well, if he's been, I didn't know he was following you for so long. So Data, we picked the right guy. We picked the right guy. 100%. Anyways, you guys, thank you all for joining today. This was an incredible live. I will add, if not today, because it's midnight over here, tomorrow, I will add the timestamps for the replay crew. If you don't want to watch the whole 3 hours, I will make it easier for you. I will add the timestamps down below. If any one of my mods wants to help with the timestamps, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah,
you know,
and I feel like they're so like, you know, bump. It should be fairly easy.
That's why I have these things, you know, the little picture thingies that I put because it's easier when I fast forward. Oh, here it is. Yeah, try to make my life easier as a one-woman show, as you know. Well, you guys, thank you all for joining. I'll be seeing you again next week. Take good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful Sunday. A great start to the new week. Don't listen to the news. Switch it off. Read a book. Go out. Go to nature. Be in nature. Ground yourself. If you feel that this what's happening out in the world is really giving you anxiety, ground yourself. Don't forget to ground yourself, okay? And forget about what happens out there. Focus on you and your family and what makes you happy, and the rest will kind of unfold the way that it does, but you'll be okay. Thank you all for joining. Till next time, take care. Bye, everybody.